Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson
That's cool. I can dig it.
and Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
So I was driving to eat dinner with my dad last night, window down, 60, 70 degrees or whatever, and my mouth was open. I think I was listening to something. I can't remember specifically what it was. I think it was a Ruskin or Zach take. And a bird decided, as I'm driving to eat with my father, to crap, hit my mirror, reflected directly into my car and right in my mouth. And I'm not. I wish this would have happened on Tuesday, so I could have shared it on What's Your Beef Wednesday.
That's some protein for you. That's what's your beef.
I'm
So the window's down.
windows down.
You know, Ruskin's got such an awe-inspiring
Take.
opinion. Your mouth is agape. It's just
It's
jaw-dropping opinion. Is that what you're telling me?
Correct.
And somehow the bird poop.
Hits my mirror,
And
my
deflects-
into my mouth.
And why are you sitting here today? I would be having a mouth transplant.
I
All
just
my
started,
teeth pulled.
I just started.
A new tongue sewn in. Something.
I just started spitting out
Let's
of my
be
mouth.
gargling. Some kind of mouthwash.
And initially, I thought it was rain, and then when it clouded the sky last night, so I was like,
I may have to go home sick.
so that was definitely bird crap last night. But the reason I bring this up, first of all, I wish this would have happened on Tuesday, so we could have done this for What's Your Beef
the only
Wednesday.
thing I've heard worse happen to anybody this year is to Cowboy fans. I mean,
I personally can't wait to hear the segue from bird crap
yeah.
into Razorback football.
You're right.
I'm
Let's-
anxious to
hang
hear.
on.
I'm
Hey,
ready,
hang
I'm ready
on.
to hear this
It's
segue.
actually-
Sit back and see how
I'm ready to see him do this.
Let's see how he paints the picture. Let's be quiet.
The reason I bring this up is because Jeremy Pruitt announced last night that Jared Garantano is going to be Garantano. I got to make sure I say that right. Is going to be Tennessee's starting quarterback for Saturday, and it's not in Arkansas. This is crap, but Tennessee fans are so tired of this crap.
Oh,
They are so tired of seeing this kid.
He's not
out
that
there.
bad.
Listen,
we reached for that one.
yeah.
my experience-
He's not that bad.
my experience was pretty bad last night, but.
Garantano's not that bad.
Yeah, it's not as bad as that, but there was a lot of angry Tennessee fans last night when Jeremy Pruitt made this announcement. Maybe not to the level of I was last night when I'm just profusely spitting out of my mouth, driving immediately got a water. It was not an ideal situation. That has never happened to me before. I've had bird poop hit the windshield
Yeah.
and the car and stuff.
Yeah.
That's irritating enough, but when it goes in your mouth, you're just like, why? Why this morning? Marcus
So
from
if
Paris
you get
Tech.
some rare infectious disease that's never been heard of, we'll know
We'll know.
where
Now we know. Now we
to
know.
trace it back
Yeah,
to.
we got contact tracing now.
Oh,
Hopefully that bird didn't have COVID, but Marcus in
COVID
Paris.
would be the least of your problems.
Seriously, Marcus in Paris texts in. He says, "Talk about a crappy day." Yeah, Marcus, it was not. Eating with my father is always fantastic. I love to sit down and have conversations with him, but for
How
that,
did you still eat? I'd have been done. I mean, that would be the best weight loss program ever
I
for
would have
me.
drank a whole bottle of tequila
popped in
to burn it out of your system.
a chicken fried steak like I would any other night.
What's that nasty? I mean, you got Scope and the good mouthwashes, but then you got that one nasty one that tastes worse than cough syrup. Listerine.
Listerine,
That's
yeah.
the one.
You don't like
I would-
Listerine?
No, I don't prefer Listerine, but there wouldn't be enough Listerine in the city.
No.
There would not be enough.
Brett Good just texted me. He says it's a sign of good luck that happened to you. I don't know how that's
Well,
good
that's
luck.
kind of like Ty, like Ty Webb in Haiti in Caddyshack.
It was just such an
When the bird gets the ball, you probably don't know the scene, but
It was no, I've seen that movie. It was just such an odd occurrence that happened. That has never ever happened to me.
anyone in the history of history.
I don't. Think about the.
I'm trying to figure out the physics of how bird poop deflects off.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I haven't drawn the. Okay, I see the window down.
I'm trying to go back to my old.
It's clearly easy to see that there would be such a awe-inspiring opinion on Ruskin and Zach that your mouth would be agape. That's not hard to
I don't even
figure
remember
out
what it was.
But the part I can't figure out, and the bird pooping on the mirror, I can see. How did it go from mirror to mouth? That's the connection I can't quite
That's just
make.
physics, though. When
Think
the
about-
crap hits the
And
window,
I'm guessing,
then it sucks in.
And all I'm guessing is, it's wind aided.
Right.
It's wind aided.
Yeah, because think about, I don't know, this is what, geometry? Is that the type of math we're talking about now? It's coming down from an angle and a direction, and the mirror's shaped a certain way, so it just hits it.
It's not a pure ricochet.
Yeah.
It's
At least it didn't go in my eyes. I don't know what it would have been worse. The eyes, it was pretty bad in the mouth. I just go.
This is the one time you really wish you had the Andy Reid Weed Eater shield on.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm all about COVID, baby. I got the Andy Reid Weed Eater shield on.
I don't wear. This would have been.
Well, that'd have been handy, wouldn't it, in that moment?
I know many of us have been complaining about having to wear masks in various places. Last night would have been the ideal situation for me to actually have my mask on in the car.
But, mask or no mask, we stay out of those conversations because somehow they become political. But I think we can all agree we kind of looked at people that are in the car by themselves wearing the mask. This would have been the one instance it would have saved you.
That would have been okay.
I was passing someone yesterday by themselves in a vehicle. Mask on. Maybe it's not for COVID. Maybe we have now discovered the reason you wear a mask in a vehicle that you are completely by yourself. It's in case a bird poops on the mirror and it ricochets in your mouth.
I would be shocked if a listener wanted to text in 877-377-69. Has this ever happened to you?
No.
I don't think so.
No. This is like the backwards pass on the spike. It's never happened in the history of history.
And I wouldn't have brought this up if it didn't actually occur. Like I enjoy funny radio segments, but this I don't make this up. This legitimately happened last night around 6:25. And I'm just trying. And I didn't even.
I would go get some. And Justin brings up a good point. The brown Listerine is the one you want because that stuff will take paint off a truck. Is what Justin. Absolutely.
Oh, well, Tennessee fans
makes cough syrup taste like medicine.
Tennessee fans' night was not as bad as mine, but they were very frustrated as Jeremy Pruitt announced that Jarrett Garantano is going to be the starter for this game. I don't know if he's going to play the entire game, but he is going to start this game against the Arkansas Razorbacks.
If you told me I had to go through what you did in order to get the dub over Tennessee,
I don't think I'd do it.
2-4 doesn't sound so bad.
What's what?
It's not 2-4. We only expected to win 2 at the beginning of the year. 2-4 isn't that bad.
We had a fellow text.
Maybe we'll get LSU.
I had a guy text in on our halftime show, and the whole joke right now is if I lose our game day picks, I have to watch The Exorcist.
Okay.
And someone texted in and said, Matt, why don't you just watch it this weekend? The Razorbacks will win.
Ugh.
I didn't. We lost. And now I'm getting ridiculed for it. I said, well, that ain't going to happen.
Speaking of that, did you watch Rocky this past weekend?
No, I didn't watch it when they beat Ole Miss. Or not Ole Miss. Ole Miss.
Yeah, no, I thought you stayed on. So you lied about that because you said you'd watched it.
I don't know if they're Ole Miss. This is the.
You only did it once? I thought you'd watched that a couple weeks.
I watched it the first 2 weeks, and I was so tired. I got back to the house at 10:30 one night.
So it's not my fault. It's his fault.
Okay.
But now we're back on track because a bird doo-dooed in his mouth.
Yeah, Sean and Greenwood texted.
It's got to be good luck.
He says he just drove by the station. There's an odd amount of birds outside. We will get into other.
The birds heard about you.
Yeah, I guess we will get into other conversations, mainly a recruiting Thursday. So we'll get into a lot of recruiting. Richard Davenport coming up at 8:05, and it's brought to you by Breeden RV. They're having their last sale of the year, and despite everything going on, they're getting in new trailers in weekly, and they are marked down as soon as they hit the lot. These are brands you know: Forest River, Dutchman, Thor, Coachman, and so many more. And your new purchase comes with free maintenance for life. Hey, are you trying to hibernate yours for the winter? Then they can take care of you there. Winterization special starting at just $99. The Breeden RV Center in Van Buren, your friends in the RV business. Coming up, we got some big news from Hunter Yurachek from the desk of your athletics director. We will get into that conversation. Stay with us. It's the Morning Rush.
This is Recruiting Thursday on the Morning Rush, brought to you by Breeden RV, where your adventures begin.
Yes, sir. sir.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
If you have experience transporting frozen and refrigerated goods and want to be part of a trucking family with insurance and be home every week, you need to contact Brent Higgins Trucking. Since 1997, Brent Higgins Trucking in Mulberry has been proudly delivering to and from various areas of the United States, including but not limited to Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Brent Higgins Trucking, where you're a name, not a number. Contact them at 479-997-2366 or at BrentHigginsTrucking.com.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dealing with a CPAP every night? The noise, the constant cleaning. Your wife telling you she can't take the noise anymore. Dr. Bo Sparkman at Family Dental Care of Fort Smith can help you with sleep apnea with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of that annoying CPAP. Dr. Sparkman has years of experience and has treated hundreds of patients just like you. Call for your appointment today. 785-1419. That's 785-1419. Get rid of your CPAP with Family Dental Care of Fort Smith.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, 10-layer dip, brisket nachos, and Mexican pizza. And ask about Joe's tailgate packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Green RV in Van Buren is having their last sale of the year. Despite COVID-19's best ever, we are still getting in new trailers in weekly, and they are marked down as soon as they hit the lot. Browse Green RV's selection of Forest River, Dutchman, Thor, and Coachman products and pick out the best fit for you. You can buy with ease knowing that your new purchase comes with free maintenance for life. Once you're ready to hibernate for the winter, bring your camper into us for deluxe winterization specials starting at just $99. Green RV will work on all makes and models, and don't forget that all their accessories are installed for free. The Breeden RV Center in Van Buren, your friends in the RV business.
Deer hunters, it's prime time, and the Deerwoods are the place to be. Jelco Outdoors has all the supplies and gear to make your hunt one to remember. Men's, women's, and children's boots and clothing to keep you warm and dry. Tree stands, scents, calls, safety vest, firearms, archery. Jelco has it all for you. Best of luck to all hunters. Stay safe, and remember, a great hunt begins at Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
The best TV experience in the nation is available locally with personal service from WOW World of Wireless, your neighborhood professional Dish authorized retailer. Dish has the Hopper 3, the most advanced DVR, and delivers a premium viewing experience. Tired of running out of DVR space? With the Hopper 3, you can record up to 2,000 hours of your favorite programming and watch your very own favorite channels and DVR recording anywhere you go on your phone or tablet. Call now, WOW World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474 for more details, or visit us online at shopwownow.com. Get the Hopper 3 today by calling WOW World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474, or online at shopwownow.com.
Monthly equipment fees and other restrictions apply. Recording hours vary. 2,000 hours based on SD programming. Remote viewing requires internet connection and compatible mobile device. World of Wireless has moved just a few miles east, next to Frank Rowe Furniture in Barling. Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen, or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time, every time.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Franks eludes the pressure, rolling left, got a man, Burks at the 20, Traylon to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, touchdown Arkansas! Traylon Burks, 49 yards, his first touchdown as a Razorback.
Follow us on Twitter at Ty Sports Radio and at Tommy Kraft ESPN.
So you finally got some public news from Hunter Yurchek concerning a bunch of different things, concerning the AT&T, I say AT, that is AT&T Stadium contract, concerning the basketball program and a plethora of other things. We will get into the basketball side of things, and we'll save the football conversation for the larger segment coming up here on the Morning Rush.
Hey, if you or someone you know is looking to change or start a new career that could make a huge difference in your income and your earning potential, make a difference for your family, you might want to check out United Welding Institute in Pottsville. They've been training professional, field-tested welders since 2013, and they can help you change your life with an average starting pay of about $2,800 per week. They're training welders to go into great jobs in the oil field, power plants, refineries, pipelines, and a lot of other great industries where you can seize an opportunity right now. So take the next step forward in a successful and essential career with United Welding Institute in Pottsville. Call them at 479-968-3390. That's 968-3390, or read more about their program online at UnitedWeldingInstitute.com. That's UnitedWeldingInstitute.com.
So we'll start with basketball. Like I said, 4,000 people for both men's games and women's games is going to be allowed in Bud Walton Arena, which is 20% of your capacity of a little less than 20,000.
So, yeah, if you were a season ticket holder, you got this email a couple weeks ago, and they've had a couple rounds of these emails asking you to opt in or opt out. It's stated in the email they're expecting 7 non-conference games and then the 9 conference games as the home schedule. The schedule's not out, didn't list any ball games, but we've seen little trickles of information come out on who may fill some of that, and you got a pretty good idea who the 9 conference games will be. But 4,000, there's pricing for upper level and lower level, and you're going to have to give your donation. So, and you're not going to get all of the games, obviously. So you're going to get a limited number of games, and they're going to try to get as many of the people that opt in to a select number of ball games. They had some details in those emails if you were a season ticket holder.
And on the note that you just brought up with the scheduling, that is not just an Arkansas thing. That is an SEC Southeastern Conference thing, because they're still deliberating on how they want to do this upcoming season.
I know that many conferences, just at a smaller conference, smaller division level, there have been many, many versions of schedules for conference play. I'm sure the SEC is no different in how they're going about it, but you wonder, and I'm sure a lot of it is testing. The SEC can afford the testing. You say, well, what's the big deal with the testing, Tommy? Well, here's the deal. It's about depending on who you negotiate with and whether you're doing the PCR, which is the one you send out to a lab and it takes 2 or 3 days, or whether you're doing the antigen, which is a rapid test. You're talking about $40 to $50 roughly, depending on where you're at and what you've negotiated per test per player. And if you're doing 3 of those a week, just figure the cost. Just round it off at $100 a head. And you start thinking, and that's what they're doing right now with football. Then a lot of these smaller colleges can't afford it. Now the SEC, they can afford it, but you look at these non-Power 5 conferences in basketball, and that's a real problem. How are you going to make sure that the teams you invite in your non-conference are complying or up to snuff? Are you going to test all of them? I mean, I'm sure these are all things that the league is having to figure out how we're going to handle these non-conference games as they've come in. Because when you play conference only in football, you don't have to worry about that. It becomes more of an issue when you're bringing the outside world sort of into your SEC world in basketball.
And I'm curious to see when this schedule for Arkansas and other SEC teams come out, because I know a lot of you listening, while you're debating on, hey, don't want to make the donation, don't want to be a season basketball ticket holder. I mean, this is a basketball team that you want to absolutely watch this year. And I know there's going to be a lot of fans frustrated when they get their email back, hey, this is the ticket package you get. You want to opt in, opt out. And there's going to be a lot of anger and frustration, just like there's in football. We took a great call from Sterling a little while ago talking about, he just vented on a radio program, hey, I feel like I was shafted. I didn't get this, I didn't get that. Well, there's going to be even more of that based on, I think, how many season tickets, the requests that you're going to have with this basketball team.
Yeah, and 4,000 includes the skyboxes. It includes student tickets. That includes everybody. So, I mean, this is, listen, it's
going to feel like a high school atmosphere inside of Bud Walton Arena.
This is a tough spot for Scott Verity and the people at the foundation that have to deal with these phone calls, the people in athletic administration making these decisions, and then the people that have to carry it out, which in large part is the foundation that deals with the donations, that deals with the season ticket holders. If you have patience and you have understanding, you can probably get through this process. It's just a tough deal. And, in football, I did not personally like where our tickets got moved from. We went from one side of the stadium to the other. We went from one seat location to upper deck, top row, basically. I didn't, I'll opt out on that. In basketball, it's a little easier to deal with because there's only so far they can really move you from the floor. And I wish there was maybe a little more, particularly with the number of games in basketball, could we rotate through where I'm not that far removed from my original seat location? But I'm sure their software is not set up to do that, there's just no good answers right now on how to do all this.
And you know that whoever was fielding the questions at the foundation as far as the football concerns is going to have to once again do that for basketball, which is a part of the gig, I know. But like you said, it's a tough spot for not just Scott Verity and Hunter Yurchek, but everyone else within athletic offices, because like Arkansas, there's a lot of quality teams in the SEC as far as basketball goes this year, and a lot of fans want to see their squad. COVID hasn't been good for anyone this year. You never wish this on anyone. But for Arkansas basketball, this is not the year you want a pandemic to be involved where you can't have a full house.
I mean, you've seen this create tough decisions. I mean, it was 10 days ago or whatever, they announced the retirement, air quotes, retirement of some long-term people up there. I don't think all of those, I'm reading between the lines, but it sure doesn't read to me like all those folks decided at once to end their careers in the middle of a football season. No. Looks to me like cost-cutting measures.
I'll be blunt about it. It was.
You can call it retirement all you want, but these are people like Bobby Allen and like Terry Mercer, the long-term basketball secretary that's handled things for coaches.
Mrs. Mary Lynn.
Yeah, Mary Lynn Gibbs. I mean, these are people, Mark Scobie, who had been in the ticket office, people that have been there for decades that, because of tenure, I'm sure their salaries were on the upper end of the scale in their departments. And, these are the tough decisions having to be made right now because the stadiums aren't full. The tickets aren't being sold. And this is what it took for the bubble to burst in college athletics.
And here's the question you need to ask associated with just the basketball side of things. And again, we will get into the Jerry World conversation coming up here on the Morning Rush. Are we going to see 4,000 fans every single game? I think yes. How will tickets be distributed? That's a question you need to ask. And then will this cause you to try and buy or sell or opt out of the season tickets that you were planning on getting or not planning on getting? These are all questions that need to be answered, and we will do that on the Morning Rush in the upcoming weeks. Stay with us. Jerry World coming up.
We're trying to outwork everybody in recruiting.
This is Recruiting Thursday.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo Amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
Frank Rowe Furniture 6-day only sale, November the 2nd through November the 7th. For instance, this leather sofa in love with powered recliners and headrests, regular $3,600. Finance price $29.93. Cash price $27.44. Large sectional with ottoman, regular $31.05. Finance price $25.57. Cash price $23.44. All furniture, bedroom furniture are on sale. Don't miss out. 6 days only at Frank Roll Furniture. Best seats in the house.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now, irons from TaylorMade, Mizuno, along with new woods and irons from Callaway. Also in stock, the RTX Zip Core wedges and Spider putters. The Golf Nut carries a great line of shoes, apparel, and accessories for your everyday golfing needs. As always, check Facebook for our daily specials. Work on your game in our indoor simulation base, or play a round of golf on great courses like Pebble Beach or Bethpage Black. The Golf Nut, Fort Smith's #1 golf shop since 1994.
Stop in today at Randall Ford, where you'll find over 150 pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock. We have what you want at the price that will fit your budget. We have 35 certified pre-owns. We even have over 25 vehicles under $10,000 and no payment for 90 days. All used vehicles go through a 115-point safety inspection. Plus, we will deliver your new purchase right to your front door. Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue, or online 24/7 at randallford.com. Home of the lowest price guarantee.
Have you been looking for your next place to call home and just haven't found the right one? Then it's time to check out the properties at Trinity Multifamily. With a variety of apartments, duplexes, townhomes, and houses, there is surely one to fit your needs. Whether it's in the River Valley, Northwest Arkansas, or Central Arkansas that you are looking at, they have you covered. Give them a call today. Trinity Multifamily, 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
Your voice lets him know he's safe. Shelter Insurance does the same for you. Roadside assistance is now included with your auto policy. So if your car leaves you stranded, just call and we'll take care of you while you take care of what's most important. Find an agent at shelterinsurance.com. Wear your shield, wear your shelter. Some restrictions apply.
Ask shelter agents Brandon Zimmerman or Chris Dooley about a free insurance review.
Divorce is never easy. Many times problems continue to arise long after the divorce is over. If you're dealing with a high conflict custody or visitation issue, you need an attorney that handles those specific type of cases. Call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partners for immediate assistance with your situation. Kevin Hickey Law Partners, able to handle high conflict custody cases all over the state of Arkansas and other states. Check out kevinhickeylaw.com or call 479-434-2414 in Fort Smith and 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas.
Tri-Hill Turf offers the highest quality turf and pest services. Hey, you say those are big words. Well, let's see. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has a company agronomist, state and nationally certified technicians, free soil testing, and they even have precision GPS guided application equipment. Now that's high tech. For over 30 years, Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has used the latest application technology, and they strive for turf and pest excellence. They are your local turf and pest experts. Call the local team at 782-0404. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Mathis retreats, gets the ball, and the Hawks dump it back outside the 40-yard line. They're going to spot it back at the 42. They lose 17 yards. Dorian Gerald.
All your favorite podcasts in one place. The Hit That Line Podcast Network. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
We heard from Hunter Yurchek, your athletics director at Arkansas, on why the decision was made for Jerry World. Are you okay with it? Have you heard about it? We will get into that conversation as well as some quick hitting headlines. It is a Recruiting Thursday. It's brought to you by Breeden RV this morning. They're having their last sale of the year going on right now. They're getting in new trailers weekly, and they are marked down as soon as they hit the lot. These are the brands you know and trust: Forest River, Thor, and Coachman and Dutchman products. And if you come in, if you purchase something new RV, new trailer, free maintenance for life. That's free maintenance for life. They'll work on all makes and models at Breeden RV. The Breeden RV Center in Van Buren, your friends in the RV business. Before we get into quick hitting headlines in this conversation, I want to welcome in Rod on I-40. Rod, you're on the Morning Rush.
How's it going, guys? Doing all right?
Well, I'm doing okay. Ty, well, he had a rough
Still
night
recovering,
last night.
yeah.
He's still recovering from bird poop in the mouth.
Yeah, he's got one of them crappy grins on right now, doesn't he?
Let's just say if any of the ladies are listening, it's going to be hard for him to get a date this weekend that involves any smooching. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's that brown streak right between two teeth right there in front.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
Yeah.
I tell you, man, he's never ridden a motorcycle because, I was talking to a buddy of mine one day, running about 40 miles an hour, go across town, and of all things, a locust flew up under my face shield. And I'm telling you right now, if you ain't never choked on a locust, you ain't never lived, right?
Reason number 87 not to ride a motorcycle.
And convertibles. Hey, convertibles, things go right over that freaking, that windshield and go right on down in you. I guarantee you. They didn't block everything, right?
Yep.
I just say I keep the top on my sports car closed now. Thank you very much. And I'm bald, too, so it don't look great. It don't look great at all when something takes a dump on you, right? Anyway.
It's easy to wipe off.
Hang on. I'm telling you right now. It's not good. It's not good when you have your top down or mouth open or any combination thereof, let me tell you that.
It's not ideal. Yep.
So, we're going to beat Tennessee, are we?
Well, you tell me. What do you think?
Yeah, I kind of got a 50-50 feeling on this game. I believe it could go either way depending on which team shows up. And if our defense shows up like it can, this is a home game, and our offense clicks a little bit like it did at A&M, then we should win. We shouldn't have any problem. Then again, I thought we was going to go down to A&M and do something wonderful too, so that's not what I get for thinking,
Yeah, I think it's going to come down, Rod, to stopping Eric Gray and Ty Chandler, the running backs that are averaging a little over 120 yards per game combined, because you weren't able to do that against Ainias Smith, however you say his name, and Isaiah Spiller. So you got to be better against the run this week.
Yeah, no, Amos was pretty good. I got to admit, he really was.
I think he heard me talking about him.
Yeah.
I motivated him.
Yeah, bulletin board material.
So.
Yeah.
And then he talked to the birds.
Yeah. He got me back.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
He got me back.
Yeah, well, you make sure you watch whatever movies they assign you this weekend now.
Okay.
I don't want to hear no lie.
Yeah.
No excuses. On Monday, you better have watched everything Tommy tells you to watch.
All right.
And Jenkins, too.
Exorcist. All right, Rod, appreciate the call this morning. Yeah, I think when it comes to this football game this weekend, the blueprint was laid out how you beat Arkansas. You pound it down your throat, and that's what Texas A&M was able to do, and the defensive line for the Razorbacks couldn't get any pressure on Kellen Mond. Tennessee has a good offensive line as well, so we'll see what happens in this football game. Going to get into some quick headlines here on the Morning Rush. Listen to little of Jeremy Pruitt's press conference yesterday, and he was pretty blunt and honest. Traylon Burks is one of the best players in the SEC, Tommy. He is very infatuated with the Arkansas wide receiver.
You don't have to watch much of the tape to see the kind of talent that Arkansas has there with Burks and, big-handed receiver, big target guy. So, again, you just wonder if Burks had, not a knock on Franks, but if he was playing with an all-SEC caliber quarterback, what would his numbers look like the last 2 years. Franks has gotten better these last 5 ball games. Each game he seems to be improving. What will those numbers look like, say, the last 3 ball games, even playing Alabama at the end of the year? As Frank's improvement gets better, this offensive line's improvement gets better. I think Burks' numbers, as a result of those improvements, will improve as well.
Exactly. We mentioned this at the top of the program. Jarrett Garantano is starting at quarterback. That was from Jeremy Pruitt last night in his weekly press conference with the Tennessee media. I don't think he mentioned it yesterday during the telly, but he did mention that last night, and a lot of Tennessee fans are frustrated. Here's what he had to say, though, about Harrison Bailey, the backup for Tennessee. I think it's interesting to hear what he said in relation to the idea of him potentially starting him at quarterback, and we'll get to that little soundbite coming up here on the Morning Rush. But I'm wondering if we're going to see him at all.
See who?
Bailey.
Good question. So you still wonder each week, and you're waiting, each week. A, who takes the trip when you're the road team, and B, who clears the COVID protocol. So just trying to figure out who's going to play every week, not because of injuries, but we know because of COVID this year, is just another element to analyzing a ball game anymore.
You bring up COVID. Here's what he had to say about Harrison Bailey, though, first.
Well, it's been good to get Harrison reps, and he continues to progress just like anybody would. He's getting more practice time, and you have to do something a lot of times before you get good at it.
I think we'll see him play at some point in this football game.
You would think if you were going to mix things up at quarterback and bring Bailey in, off a bye week would be the time to do it, right? People aren't happy with Garantano, but what's this team look like? Who gives the team the best chance to win the ball game? That's what Jim Chaney and Jeremy Pruitt have to figure out. Which of these 2 quarterbacks can help you beat Arkansas the most?
And I wonder, how some guys are just gamers. They don't care about practice. They just don't. Like they were not going to put in any effort. They're not going to be locked in. But the game, it's completely different. And I wonder.
Matt Jones was that way.
And that's
maybe the best example we got.
A great example as far as Arkansas is concerned. It's like Matt didn't necessarily have the best practices, but you knew what you were getting when it came game time. And that's why he was such a gamer quarterback, as many described him. I'm wondering, though, if Jarrett Garantano is just such a good practice quarterback, but it has not panned out to the point on the football field for the Tennessee Volunteers, and their fans will tell you the exact same thing.
And who does the rest of the team believe in? We talked about that element with Arkansas back in August. Who does the team kind of pick to be the quarterback based on the body language, based on the effort level, based on who they lay it all out on the line for?
Yeah.
Are the coaches seeing a difference in the level these guys play at? The other 10 on the field when Bailey's in versus Garantano in. So, the coaches would see that more, obviously, in practice. Are you seeing enough of a difference in the game? I don't know if you see both of these guys or not. I guess that will be up to Garantano. If he doesn't throw picks and he plays well and the team's moving the ball, why would you make a change? But I would think he would have a short leash and a quick hook from Jim Chaney to make a change at quarterback. I would imagine Harrison Bailey will be prepared and ready to go in the event that they need to make a swap there.
And I wonder when it comes to Jim Chaney and Jeremy Pruitt, if there's a disagreement within that locker room and that coaching staff who should be the starting quarterback, because we heard about that within the lines of Joe Craddock and Chad Morris last year with Ben Hicks and Nick Starkel. I'm wondering if the same thing is applicable down there in Knoxville. You mentioned testing. Here's what Jeremy Pruitt had to say about their COVID results so far this week.
We tested on Sunday, and unfortunately we did have a few false positives. So we had some guys that had to miss Monday's practice, but they're back. So that was good. And I think that's happened probably all over every testing facility across the country at times. It's the first time it's happened with us. But we did have a few guys that missed Monday's practice, but they'll be back ready to go today.
So it looks like that Tennessee's going to be healthy heading into this football game from not only just a normal health standpoint, but a COVID standpoint as well. And
you hope that's good for both teams, and everybody's good to go. You wonder about these false positives, though, and when we saw this first with the NFL, they had 1 week, they had like 70 of these. How big a problem is this with college football? And I guess the way you identify a false positive, I'm just speaking out loud from maybe a common sense standpoint, is if guys are testing positive but have zero symptoms, you kind of raise your eyebrows a little bit. They feel fine, no fever, no cough, no loss of smell or taste. You're, something hadn't been around anybody with it. If you can't trace it back to something, let's go get another test and see what comes up here. So it makes you wonder about all these other tests we've seen around the country and all these numbers around the country. How many of them are false positives?
And, but there's also a lot of asymptomatic cases as well where you don't have that. So
are they asymptomatic or are they false positives? That's been a question a lot of us have asked. And I think we're seeing this in sports where they have the ability. Common Joe Blow like you and I don't have the ability necessarily to go get 2 or 3 other tests. In sports, they've got the ability and the wherewithal to retest immediately.
Arkansas basketball news. We'll switch it up a little bit to 2 conversations. Then we'll get in your calls, 877-377-6963. The KenPom rankings came out. These are kind of like Sagarin. These are kind of the important rankings of college basketball. Arkansas came out at 54th off the jump on KenPom rankings. These are something that you probably want to be paying attention to throughout the season, as a lot of college basketball experts pay close attention to these. Too high or too low, you think, off the bat?
54? I guess that's – where does that rank amongst SEC teams? I guess that'd be more
was it 6th?
Okay, I can get with that.
6th or 7th?
I was thinking Arkansas should be somewhere around 5 or 6 in the league right now.
Double check on that.
And if you had Isaiah Joe, I would argue you'd probably be – I don't know how many points higher nationally, but you'd probably be 3rd or 4th in the league with Isaiah Joe. You don't have him, so that's a tremendous hit to where this team's at. So I wouldn't argue too much with that. So
7th is where you're at in the SEC, behind Alabama.
Right in the middle.
Other schools. All right, last basketball quickie headline for you. You got a big boost in the 2022 recruiting rankings in state. Nick Smith out of Sylvan Hills moved all the way up to the 25th best player in the country, according to 24/7. Khalil Ware, North Little Rock, 7-footer, has a over 7-foot wingspan. He moved all the way up to 32. Darian Ford out of Magnolia moved all the way up to 52, and Joseph Pinion moved to 144. These are on 24/7 sports recruiting rankings. Nick Smith is 1 or 2 spots away from being a 5-star in this upcoming 2022 recruiting class. You're really going after him. Khalil Ware's close as well. A lot of excitement stemming out of this 2022 class. Again, Joseph is the only one, Joseph Pinion out of Morrilton, that is committed to Arkansas at this point. But Eric Musselman and his staff are hot and heavy on these kids, as there is just a plethora of talent in this upcoming class.
So that's 3 essentially in the top 50. I know Ford's right at 52, but 3 right around the top 50.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 are almost top 30 with Ware at 32. So, wow, and 4 in the top 150. That's again, we talk and debate and we conjecture and conversate over time about, is this a football state or a basketball state? Well, we go back and forth. We oscillate on that, but I'm going to tell you from a talent standpoint, there is no debate. As far as what we could be great in as a state, as far as which program up there is closer between the two, let's leave baseball out of this, of winning a national championship, this is the reason basketball
homegrown talent
is and will remain closer, and this is why you will always have a shot at getting a great coach. It's all about recruiting. This is why you will get coaches the caliber of Eric Musselman and better if he up and decided to leave you in a few years, because you can point right to this, and your recruiting grounds within tens of miles of your campus is really, really good. This is why coaches will always be attracted to your program. This reason first and foremost. Then you go to the facilities. Then you go to tradition. Then you go to, you can win it here because it's been won. This is why Musselman will win here, right here, because there's talent right in your own front yard. This isn't backyard. This is front yard talent right here.
And I'm really excited to see what he can do with the 4 freshmen this year in Moses Moody, Jalen Williams, KK Robinson, and Devontae Davis, because that could be the start of something great when it comes to in-state. And I'm talking about in the Musselman era with in-state basketball talent here in Arkansas.
Yeah, coaches want to know they got players available. This is just another sign consistently you got kids available right here. in Arkansas. So those are your quick-hitting headlines brought to you by Joe's Grill and Cantina. Had me some Joe's last night. We got the enchilada family pack. Got one kid that doesn't like enchiladas for whatever reason. You know why? You know why she doesn't like them? She's never tried them. She tried them. She'd love them. But we got her some tacos. Everybody else had the enchiladas. They were great. $25. You get 15 enchiladas. You get sides. Yeah, I mean, it's a ton of food for $25. You can't beat it. So try that out at Joe's. Today's All-American Thursday. They do a barbecue sandwich. Yeah, I know that kind of sounds weird at Joe's, but they do it with the carnitas, and they do kind of their own twist on it. It is really good. $7. You get a side of your choice. It's topped with Chipotle slaw. If you're looking for something a little bit different, try that out as their All-American Thursday special. And then their classic burger. It's got a little bit of a Joe's flair or twist on it as well. Plus, their full menu available. Great lunch specials. I was in there earlier this week. Got like 2 enchiladas and a side. It's like $6, $6.89, something like that. They've got really affordable lunch specials on the menu. And happy hour is every day from 3 to 6 at Joe's. Bar drinks are $1 off. Street tacos are $2 plus a ton of appetizers. And this Saturday for the game, half-price apps and taps for Arkansas and Tennessee. So stop in and watch the game there. They'll have dollar tacos all day on Saturday, plus the half-price apps and taps. It's all at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps in Fort Smith.
Going to the land of the Mohawks, welcoming in Kagan, who's in Piggott. Kagan, you're on the morning rush, man.
How y'all doing this morning?
Man, we are closer to game day. How are you?
Oh, I'm all right. I was going to ask y'all, did y'all see where Monte Spivey, one of our running backs, and another wide receiver went in the transfer portal?
I didn't see the other wide receiver. I know Monte opted out.
Landon Osley.
Landon Osley.
I think he's a redshirt freshman.
Okay.
Somebody more brought in.
I'm not familiar with that. And that's, yeah, I did see Monte opted out last night on social media. Did that on Twitter.
Yeah, but that's 2 people. I wonder what they're trying to do. Are they just uncomfortable, or are they making room for scholarships, or
playing time?
I would, yeah. A lot of times it comes down to PT playing time there, Kagan.
Yeah. Yeah. What y'all think we're going to beat Tennessee this weekend?
Clay, I
do.
I do too. I sent Clay my prediction after the Texas A&M game. I think I said 38-27, if I remember that correctly. Listen, I told you all last week, and I'll put cards on the table. I was like, Kellen Mond's not going to beat you on Saturday night. Well, he did partially. I mean, he was terrific. Kellen Mond was spot on. He had all day to throw. That was at home, though. Guarantado's on the road. He hasn't been successful this season, previous seasons. I just don't think that he's going to be the guy to get Tennessee over the edge against Arkansas. Now, maybe Harrison Bailey comes in and gives them success, but I don't see it. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's me looking at with the Arkansas Razorback glasses on. I just don't see it on Saturday night, man.
Yeah. I'm going to say Arkansas 38, Tennessee 12. I think they're going to throw 4 interceptions in that game. And I hope they brought a sack lunch because we're going to show up ready to play. We're going to be on our home field, and we're going to be ready to get after them and punch them right in the mouth.
I think that's hopefully what we will see on Saturday night. So I'm with you on that. I'm hoping that's the case. I appreciate the call this morning, Kagan. I think when you look at this football game, it's very easy to figure out. If Arkansas stops the run, then you're going to win. I mean, sometimes games are simple. Yeah. If you stop the run, then you are going to win this football game because Guarantano is not going to be. That's what we said about Kellen Mond, and you didn't stop the run. And he had all day to throw, and they had bucos and bucos of room to run the football. If you stop the run on Saturday night, you're going to win the football game. It's not going to be easy. Tennessee's got a really good offensive line, but that's the line in the sand that's been drawn for determining who's going to win this game.
No, I think you're spot on with that. Can Arkansas? You're not playing as good a quarterback. Question is, how good is Tennessee's offensive line compared to A&M's offensive line? I think A&M's just a smidge better. Quarterback play much better at A&M, and I don't think anyone would argue with that. Wide receivers, probably would you shade Tennessee? Probably a little bit better. And running backs, clearly A&M better there. So I think it all stacks up. You played a better offense last week than you're playing this week. Can you come up with a better scheme? Can you come up with a better way to get off the field on third down? Can you force longer third downs? Because you weren't able to consistently do that a week ago, and you're exactly right. It's about stopping the run. So
yeah, you got to be able to do it. Back to the phone lines, welcoming in David, who is out in South Arkansas. David, you're on the Morning Rush.
Good morning, gentlemen. I was enjoying the basketball conversation there for a second. One of my problems in the past has always been, for some reason, our coaches didn't focus, it seemed like, on free throws and rebounding, which no doubt most of them will. But a question about football. I watch the Chiefs, of course, and watch a lot of teams, and you see receivers break routes, move around, try to get open when the quarterback starts scrambling. And I don't know if our receivers are doing that or not. I think they might just be kind of like standing there waiting for Franks to run around and find them open. And also, I hate saying this, but I have no confidence if it comes down to a last-second field goal. I don't know if we have backups or just what the problem is with the field goal kicker, but I do feel good. I think it'll be 31-17 Hogs. And I'm going to have to find the SEC network in Kansas City somewhere, I can tell you that. But since Missouri's in the SEC, I think I could probably find it somewhere.
Yeah,
all right, thanks, guys.
Yeah, they got it. And on A.J. Reed and the kicking, I think it depends on the range. If you're at upper 40s, yeah, I could see where you'd be a little bit anxious about trying to win a football game from 47 or 48 or 49 yards again. I think if he's inside 35 yards, I'm not going to feel as nervous about that.
He's only missed 2 field goals all season. It was the 48 and 49-yarder. Right. Hasn't missed an extra point. The one that he did miss a while back was called back because of a penalty. So it's not like he's been atrocious this year. But I'm kind of with you. Anytime you're relying on Arkansas special teams to win you a football game based on their performance, I would probably be a little weary as well as you are, David. And you mentioned the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, when Patrick Mahomes scrambles out of the pocket, Tyreek Hill, DeMarcus Robinson, Mecole Hardman, all the Travis Kelce, Pringle, all those guys know that he's going to get them the football, and they are doing whatever it takes to get off their man. Like you said, the Arkansas wide receivers should learn to do that as well, whether it's Mike Woods, whether it's De'Vion Warren, whether it's Treylon Burks. These guys have to give Felipe an opportunity. And I know there's times that he needs to throw the ball away, but you also got to get some help from your wide receivers, which Felipe hasn't necessarily got at certain points this season.
Looking at you, Knox. Get open more. Although he had, I guess, his best game last week with, 3 catches? So, I mean, he hadn't been as big a factor, and I guess more of a factor in statistically last week with Trey Knox. So got to see him more in there. But you're right. I mean, he's got to get open. Can't have these coverage sacks that you'd call them because the line can only do so much. So you're exactly right. Got to do that. All right, hour number 2 coming up in the program. If you checked your mortgage rate lately, our friends at Arvest Bank would love to sit down and talk with you because a lot of times people forget about their rate once the loan is closed. Arvest Bank would love to review your current loan with you. They might be able to take their very competitive rates and lower your monthly payment or shorten the term on your loan or do some of both. They service 99% of the loans that they originate. Most of the time, when you deal with your local Arvest Bank, they can take care of all the mortgage needs that you have right there in the branch that you deal with. Call Randy at 479-573-1127. That's 573-1127, or download the Home For Me app to your mobile device and search for a Arvest loan officer near you. But call Randy and he'll set you up with a local mortgage lender right in your neighborhood. Arvest Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Texas A&M conversation coming up.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunity, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Breen RV in Van Buren is having their last sale of the year. Despite COVID-19's best ever, we are still getting in new trailers in weekly, and they are marked down as soon as they hit the lot. Browse Breen RV's selection of Forest River, Dutchman, Thor, and Coachman products and pick out the best fit for you. You can buy with ease knowing that your new purchase comes with free maintenance for life. Once you're ready to hibernate for the winter, bring your camper into us for deluxe winterization specials starting at just $99. Breen RV will work on all makes and models, and don't forget that all their accessories are installed for free. The Breen RV Center in Van Buren, your friends in the RV business.
At any of the Clay Maxey companies, it's just an easy, customer-centered experience. We wanted to make it a one-stop shop, so we added Kawasaki and Can-Am and Hustler and Worldline. It's really been a nice add for us. We provide full service. We're doing pickup and delivery. We were able to add the Vexus line, which is a premier bass boat line. We want to make it easy. We want you to visit us at any of the Clay Maxey companies. Clay Maxey Ford and Harrison, Berryville, Motorsports, Marine, or Clay Maxey NWA.
Napa know-how. At Napa, you can get 20% off 3 or more items with the $4.99 Napa Tool Bag. Yep, 20% off power tools, 20% off wipers, 20% off oil, and more. It's a whole bag of tricks. Well, actually, it's one trick over and over again, but it's a good one, saving you 20% on 3 or more items. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how. Napa know-how. At participating locations, exclusions apply. May not be combined with other offers. Offer ends 11/30/20.
In this moment, who has your back? Do you know the name of your insurance agent? Does your insurance agent know your name? Or would you call a 1-800 number that connects you with who? Another state? Another country? Get a local independent insurance agent with Auto Owners Insurance. Someone you can call when the bad stuff happens. In this moment, get an agent who will protect you in that moment. Call Kohler and Green Insurance in Fort Smith, 484-9888, or in Van Buren, 474-9888, and online at kohlergreen.com.
Wave Rural Connect is bringing state-of-the-art fiber internet, TV, and phone service to your home. Get amazingly fast fiber internet as low as $49.95 per month. TV packages start at $32.95. Fiber phone service starts at $29.95. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-4WAVE-RC to find out if we're installing in your area. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Deer hunters, it's prime time, and the Deerwoods are the place to be. Jelco Outdoors has all the supplies and gear to make your hunt one to remember. Men's, women's, and children's boots and clothing to keep you warm and dry. Tree stands, scents, calls, safety vest, firearms, archery. Jelco has it all for you. Best of luck to all hunters. Stay safe, and remember, a great hunt begins at Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Fitness will always be about keeping a routine. And the best routines in life will always make time for enjoying yourself. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
New Bud Light Seltzer?
Yep.
A hard seltzer with a hint of fruit flavor.
Yep.
Can I try one?
Yep.
That tastes great.
Told you.
Bud Light Seltzer, unquestionably good. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beers, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
Always get more at Orr.
We always put the customer first at Orr Chevrolet in Fort Smith. Since 1924, the Orr family of dealerships has grown based on one simple principle. Give the customer more money for their trades and give them a lower price on their new vehicle. It's a simple concept, really, but one that very few dealers honor anymore. Hey, we know you paid a lot of money for your vehicle, and Orr Chevrolet wants to pay you the maximum amount for it today. Then we'll give you an awesome price on a new Chevrolet. But we're not done giving you more. Included with any new vehicle sold, Orr Chevy will also give you a lifetime powertrain warranty, 2 years of free maintenance, and free car washes for life. So come get a lower price and more money for your trade today at Orr Chevrolet on Auto Park Drive in Fort Smith and 24/7 at OrChevyFS.com. Chevy, find new roads.
You always get more at Orr.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Partly to mostly sunny sky. Our high today will be right around the middle of 70s. Tonight, a little bit of patchy fog develops, an overnight low near 45. Sunshine with us on Friday, our high in the low 70s, and Saturday, sunshine, our high on Saturday into the low 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Catch Sam Pittman live every Wednesday night at 7, only on ESPN 95.3.
You're listening to The Morning Rush live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
This hour of The Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light, brewed with the best barley, rice, water, and hops to be America's favorite light beer. Bud Light, please drink responsibly.
Jarrett will be the starter. He understands our expectations, and I felt like he's had another good week.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Sunshine. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy? What's wrong?
Lloyd! The Morning Rush starts right now.
So we got this news yesterday from the desk of your athletics director, Hunter Yurchek, speaking about a bunch of things occurring within the Arkansas realm of athletics. And what you have been really asking us about, hey, what's the deal with A&M? Why are we going there? Why are we going back to Jerry World? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Well, we finally got a public statement from Hunter on this, and we will dive into this conversation coming up. What did you think about it? This is just what you're now hearing about it. We will do that coming up here on the Morning Rush on a Recruiting Thursday. It's brought to you by Breeden RV. They're having their last sale of the year right now, and despite everything going on, they're still getting the new trailers, the new RVs, and they're getting them in weekly. Plus, as soon as they hit the lot, Ransom and his crew are marking them down immediately. And these are the brands you know and trust, Dutchman, Thor, and Coachman, and so many more. The great thing about Breeden RV, you get free maintenance for life. Plus, if you need to hibernate your RV for the winter, winterization specials starting at just $99. They're going to work on all makes and models at Breeden RV, the Breeden RV Center in Van Buren, your friends in the RV business. This is a direct quote from Hunter. When the move was initially made, I expressed a desire to explore an opportunity to play a game in Arkansas as well. However, based on discussions around an existing agreement, it became apparent that the addition of another on-campus game as part of the traditional 2021 schedule would necessitate an extension of that agreement beyond 2024. He continues, if circumstances once again dictate other considerations in 2021, I am confident the Jones family, our partners at AT&T Stadium, and Texas A&M would be supportive in our efforts to find an appropriate solution. I'll let you go, and then I'll hit this.
That's a very eloquent way of saying we're just going to take our medicine now and get this thing over with. That's kind of what it sounds like, because A&M wants out of this contract. They don't want it to extend. Sounds to me like neither party wants this to extend with these schools in the arrangement past 2024.
Not in Jerry World as a whole, like you're saying, but
doesn't mean Arkansas doesn't want to play there.
Correct.
They don't want to play A&M in Jerry World past 2024.
And I know Hunter listens to this program. Mm-hmm. Call Nebraska's AD. I don't know who it is. Call Nebraska's AD.
Call us right now, 877-377-6963. And instead of us trying to read between the lines and interpret, call us and you can tell us exactly what you're trying to say here. But listen, I get it. You want to kind of get it over with. We're in a world where everybody, it's not fair. And I don't like the word fair. I think the word equitable, it at least feels better to me. It doesn't feel equitable that you got to go there this year. You went there last week and then no return trip on this situation. But I understand you have a contract. I understand if you prolong it, you're just prolonging it. And A&M's not on board for that. I don't like the optics of how it feels like, appears like, you're getting pushed around a little bit. I think some fans' reaction is, well, you're letting the SEC do this too. You're letting I don't think that's true either. I think from the university level, there is a great desire to play this game. Not as much. I mean, yes, from the athletic department too, because you want the relationship with the Jones family. But Ty, you know, because you've been a student very recently, there is a lot of Texas residents.
Too many.
That come to Fayetteville to further their education. This presence in the Dallas metro area is important to the university administration, and I think there's a lot of desire and pressure from the university level to continue this game because it's a big recruiting weekend, not just for the football team. It's a big recruiting weekend for the university as a whole.
Here's my problem with this. The optics that you mentioned. If this was truly the case, if you had to prolong the series back to 2025, then why is Texas A&M getting out of it for 1 year and getting it home?
Well,
that looks
you got the COVID
awful.
card. Well, you got the COVID card.
Georgia, Florida, Texas, Oklahoma. There's multiple other neutral site games that have been played. Now, if it was across the board, not a single one, that's different. This doesn't look good. This doesn't look good at all from the Arkansas. And you should be, listen, I know you want games back in Fayetteville. I completely, wholeheartedly understand that. But this just looks like you're getting the shaft, not from the SEC, but from Texas A&M. Hunter Yurchek has done a fantastic job as the athletic director of the University of Arkansas so far. In my opinion, he's wrong here.
I don't know what the break even is for Jerry Jones in hosting one of these games. I mean, obviously he's
used to be a lot better.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about from the Arkansas A&M series because he pays Arkansas and A&M what $5 million or so a piece. I mean, they get a lot of money to come play this game, right? And then he gets concessions and parking, and he gets those revenue streams to offset that. Well, in a COVID world where you've got 25% capacity or whatever they're allowing in, could he even make his money back on that? What would be the concession on the amount of money you're getting? Now, Arkansas and A&M both missed out on whatever Jerry Jones would have guaranteed them to come play the game there, but Jerry Jones had to also calculate, well, how much money am I going to make on parking and hot dogs and $9 beers if I've
Don't
only
forget
got
those Cowboy Quaaludes for $18.
Yeah, I mean, how many of those can I sell to a very diminished crowd? So as much as we like to think this is all about passion and love for your team and go Hogs go, this is a business at the end of the day. And somebody's got to put pencil to paper and figure out whether or not this is a good deal. I still think if you're Arkansas, as much as it's not equitable is the word I like to use, I like the idea from a business arrangement standpoint. It's very clean that the Arkansas A&M series and the Little Rock series, those contracts expire right now in the same time period. I think that's clean and opens up your options on how you want to move forward and do business beginning in 2025. That makes your job cleaner if you're Arkansas.
And we've talked about, and you've mentioned, hey, if you're going to play a non-conference game in Jerry World, who would that be? And a lot of you mentioned old Southwest Conference, now Big 12 foes. There's no need for them to play in Dallas because they're playing in Texas all year long based on the conference alignment. What you have to do is find a non-conference, a non-conference opponent that's not in the Big 12, like a Nebraska or like just a solid blue blood program over the years that you can convince to play in Dallas. Because I think it's important for Arkansas to continue to play one game a year in Dallas, not just from the enrollment standpoint that you're talking about, but if you want to keep getting in Texas, these kids, not necessarily going for recruiting visits, but that are watching you play in Dallas every year, that is important. I don't care what anyone says, oh, it's not that important, Ty. It's not this, it's not that. It is important. It is very important. It was important to get a lot of these Texas kids that I wish didn't go to Arkansas up there. It is vastly important for this game to continue. Not the Texas A&M series, but for Arkansas to continue to have a presence in Dallas, Texas. You need to have a non-conference setup there every single year.
Yeah, and again, you start doing the math. Again, it's a business. You talk about these Texas kids coming in. Cost of what's the cost of a course credit right now by the hour up there? I don't have a clue.
It's
sure
about
$100 and something, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's about $16,000 room and board, tuition, and everything per year.
And I know they made some concessions for in-state tuition levels for
Yeah.
Texas kids versus
Up to
the out-of-state.
90%, I think.
Something like that. So, I mean, start doing the math. There's a lot of value in recruiting students versus season ticket holders and selling tickets. I understand the athletic side of it, but at the end of the day, 10,000 more students on your campus over a number of years is worth a lot of money, and that's where the pen and the paper are going together on this deal.
You're exactly right. All right, coming up, we will be joined by Tom Murphy of the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. Also want to talk about this Tennessee game. How important is it for recruiting the city of Memphis? That's next on The Morning Rush.
This is Recruiting Thursday on The Morning Rush, brought to you by Breeden RV, where your adventures begin.
Yes, sir!
If you have experience transporting frozen and refrigerated goods and want to be part of a trucking family with insurance and be home every week, you need to contact Brent Higgins Trucking. Since 1997, Brent Higgins Trucking in Mulberry has been proudly delivering to and from various areas of the United States, including but not limited to Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Brent Higgins Trucking, where you're a name, not a number. Contact them at 479-997-2366 or at BrentHigginsTrucking.com.
Born in Arkansas, designed in the Swiss Alps, and field tested all over the world, Canis Tactical Hunting Gear will allow you to hunt longer, farther, and in more comfort than ever before. Whether you are hunting early or late season whitetails, chasing greenheads in the timber, or stalking elk in the west, our layering system has you covered. We're a direct-to-consumer company, so shop our website at canisathlete.com and use the code Arkansas to receive 15% off your first order. Follow us on social at Canis Athlete for updates and new product launches. Be the wolf.
Tommy Kraft here for The Fence Man. Do you own a business that needs more security? Or maybe you just want a better look and more curb appeal? A new fence from The Fence Man can give you both. In business for more than 40 years, The Fence Man can custom install any type of fencing, gates, and controlled access for your business. Call The Fence Man and ask about 18 months same as cash financing with approved credit. 479-782-3936. That's 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Craving prime rib this morning? Hardee's introduces the new prime rib and fried egg biscuit. We took tender prime rib and put it on a fluffy made-from-scratch biscuit. Yeah, that's right. We made prime rib for breakfast. Premium, juicy, sliced prime rib for breakfast. And then we topped it with a freshly cracked fried egg and melted Swiss. Why? We knew you needed it, that's why. The new prime rib and fried egg biscuit from Hardee's. Feed your happy. Available for limited time during breakfast hours at participating restaurants. Price and participation may vary.
Franco Furniture 6-day sale only, November the 2nd through November the 7th. For instance, this leather sofa Love with powered recliners and powered headrests, regularly $3,600, finance price $29.93, cash price $27.44. Large sectional with ottoman, regular $31.05, finance price $25.57, cash price $23.44. All furniture, bedroom furniture on sale. Don't miss out. 6 days only at Franco Furniture. Best seats in the house.
Oh my gourd, folks. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. This month, I want to say thanks. So I'm on a mission to make car buying easy as pie and help you snag a sweet deal on one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles. Each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. This month, you could drive a nicer, newer car and save up to $4,150. That's a lot of dough. So if your old ride is flaky, crusty, burnt, or rusty, don't let it squash your happiness. Trade it for a nicer, newer car now, even if you still owe money, and save up to $4,150. Plus, my For the People approval process makes financing your nicer, newer car easy as pie. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for winter in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Deals this delicious won't last long, so visit us today at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Evans Body Shop wants you to know that you are now able to get the repair process started on your schedule. With just a few clicks of your cell phone, you can send photos and your vehicle information directly to our shop. We will respond within 24 hours with a detailed estimate for repairs. It's that simple. We are here for you. Visit our website for all of the details. We offer complimentary pickup and drop-off as well, and extra steps are being taken to ensure your car is returned as good as new and completely sanitized.
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
The best TV experience in the nation is available locally with personal service from WOW World of Wireless, your neighborhood professional Dish authorized retailer. Dish has the Hopper 3, the most advanced DVR, and delivers a premium viewing experience. Tired of running out of DVR space? With the Hopper 3, you can record up to 2,000 hours of your favorite programming and watch your very own favorite channels and DVR recording anywhere you go on your phone or tablet. Call now, WOW World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474 for more details, or visit us online at shopwownow.com. Get the Hopper 3 today by calling WOW World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474, or online at shopwownow.com.
Monthly equipment fees and other restrictions apply. Recording hours vary. 2,000 hours based on SD programming. Remote viewing requires internet connection and compatible mobile device. World of Wireless has moved just a few miles east, next to Frank Rowe Furniture in Barling.
Tri-Hill Turf offers the highest quality turf and pest services. Hey, you say those are big words. Well, let's see. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has a company agronomist, state and nationally certified technicians, free soil testing, and they even have precision GPS guided application equipment. Now that's high tech. For over 30 years, Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has used the latest application technology, and they strive for turf and pest excellence. They are your local turf and pest experts. Call the local team at 782-0404. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Crabb.
They hand it off, Talley. Just a minute. Talley at the 40. Talley at the 30. Talley on his horse at the 20. The 10. Touchdown, Razorback!
Streaming live at hitthatline.com.
Tom Murphy coming up in about 5 minutes. Your SEC update on the way as well. We had a great conversation with Brett Good, and he already texted this morning. I know he's listening to the program. He said it was good luck that I got bird crap in my mouth earlier this morning.
Yeah, we just didn't figure out what country or what universe yet. Yeah, Brett joins us every Wednesday. He's part of the winning team at Henderson Phillips Employer Solutions. He can help you with employee benefits, health insurance, and staffing management solutions, things like 401ks, health insurance plans, also your personal insurance needs as well. So home, auto, life insurance, and commercial insurance needs as well. So if you're the person at the office that handles employee benefits and insurance, or you just need a better deal on car insurance or home insurance, call Brett now, and he'll be glad to sit down with you and go over all your insurance needs. 479-651-2292. That's 651-2292 for Brett Good with Henderson Phillips Employer Solutions.
Somebody said we've got SEC bias. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
Jeremy Pruitt in the SEC teleconference yesterday was lavishing over Warren's own Traylon Burks. Said he's one of the best players in the SEC. Said he looks like a possession receiver and runs like a 4.4. And that is, he's shown, I'm saying by Traylon, has shown that he can't really be guarded when he's healthy this year, Tommy.
And, you know, just, again, we were kind of debating or conversating earlier this week. Is he a possession receiver or a speed receiver? And he's kind of got the qualities of both. You know, he's a guy that, you know, he can high point a football. He can go up in double coverage, and he can bring down the football. But he's also got that quick 4.2, 4.3 speed that, you know, he can turn on the burners too. So I'm sure that whenever the time comes, the NFL scouts are salivating already, and whenever his time comes in the draft, he's going to be one of the guys at the combine that shows out. His metrics are going to be impressive.
Yeah, they're going to be nice all across the board. One of the other things that Jeremy Prince mentioned yesterday, and this was last night with the Tennessee media, that Jared Garantano is going to be the starting quarterback for the Volunteers come Saturday. So that's kind of been speculated a little bit. Hey, is Harrison Bailey, is he potentially going to start? You got a lot of time to prepare him for the bye week. Well, we know based on what Jeremy Pruitt had to say last night that is not the case. So FanDuel and a lot of other legal sports betting opened up in Tennessee recently. FanDuel Sportsbook is giving you 25-1 odds that Tennessee beats Arkansas. So what that means is if you bet $5 on the Vols, you could win $125. This is a promotional aspect and stuff. How many deranged Tennessee fans, Tommy, do you think are going to bet on the Vols because of this particular promotion?
25-1? Yeah, this seems like a sucker bet, doesn't it? Yeah, they just get people hooked in.
It's good marketing from FanDuel.
But yeah, probably a pretty good amount. So you can bet $5 to win $125. Why wouldn't you?
Would you? Would you bet on Tennessee in order to just make a buck or two?
Well, I'm not going to bet on Tennessee. Probably depends on how much of that Jack Daniels stuff they make over there you've had before.
That's a good point. It's good. It's a
Depends
good
on you're a Morgan Wallen guy. Have you had your whiskey glasses on?
That's a great question. I was trying to get Morgan on this week, man. I really wanted to get. He's a big-time Tennessee fan. Just have been able to reach him, unfortunately. So, but he's going to be awful sad come Saturday night. All right, last SEC update tidbit for you. We've been talking about Jonathan Marshall's presence all season long. He is second in the SEC, only trailing one Alabama defensive lineman in pressures. Now, that hasn't necessarily led to a plethora of sacks and tackles for loss, but he is getting in the backfield and getting after it. That just goes to show you the impact of him, Derek LeBlanc, and this this Arkansas defensive line with him at the centerfold.
We've talked particularly in the Ole Miss and the Mississippi State games where Arkansas was rushing, sending 3 and dropping 8. He was driving the center back, making the quarterback uncomfortable. That was one of the differences this last week, is Arkansas wasn't able to get that push. So, no, Jonathan Marshall, old number 42 in there, controlling the A-gap, drawing double teams a lot of times, and those numbers back up exactly what we've been saying. A lot of times you watch the ball when you're watching the game. You don't watch the game within the game. Marshall's the strongest guy on the team, and he's able to get the push inside that really, collapses the pocket from the inside out.
Let's bring in Tom Murphy now in here to the Morning Rush. Tom, there's a lot of guys on this football team that have really improved from last season. I know Jalen Catalon in the back end, from really not playing much at all to being one of the premier, if not the best defensive players on this team, the 2 linebackers in Bumper Pool and Grant Morgan. But when you look at the defensive line and what Jonathan Marshall has had to go through, double teams, triple teams at times, how important has he been to the defense thus far this season?
Yeah, and I think Jonathan Marshall was a good player last year, and I did see that Pro Football Focus stat that you guys were just referencing. Pet peeve alert here. I don't think SEC officiating crew, statistical crews across the board do a good enough job of crediting hurries, because I think John Marshall has 1 hurry on the year, and 22 pressures and 1 hurry. There's a huge discrepancy there.
Yeah.
When the Razorbacks played Georgia in the opener, their guys, it was just a jaw-dropping statistic, 100 and something pressures last year, which you just don't see. And it's because I think their stat crew is more tuned, and they probably give a few more than might be warranted. But I also think that stat crews across the conference don't do a great job of calculating hurries and things like that. There was a blocked field goal or something about 3 years ago. Sosa Agin blocked, and they gave it to Poole on game day, and I don't know if it ever got changed in the official statistics. So anyway, John Marshall has done a great job, and every once in a while, when he gets singled, he has those breakthrough plays where he had one against A&M, just a 3-yard loss, bam, before the running back can even get going.
Mm-hmm.
He's been a special player.
Tom, the biggest news that came out of yesterday, in my opinion, was Hunter Yurachek's letter to the Arkansas Razorback fans, and I know that football is always on the highest priority. What did you make of the explanation that Hunter gave to Razorback fans why the game is going back to Jerry World next year?
Well, I just think it's on the up and up. When it first happened, the thought was, well, if A&M's getting the game this year, we need to get the game next year. Well, if you want to negotiate to get the game next year, which is outside the contract, then it would only be logical that the Cowboys and Jerry Jones would say, well, we'll tack an additional game on our deal, and it'll go to 2025, and your home game in 25 will be at Arlington. So really it's a matter of do it now or do it later. Mm-hmm. And even though in your mind you want to even things up and get a home game and maybe strike while the iron's hot, I think they're better off going down and finishing off that contract, because what they want after 24 is more flexibility. I think they've done a great job of setting up their non-conference games in the future. They've got Liberty and BYU, and series is coming up with Utah. They got Texas next year, which would have made for a really attractive home schedule. But anyway, I think it's just on the up and up that if you don't play that game in Arlington in 21, then you're going to play it in 25. So might as well finish up the contract.
Yeah, you just kind of take your medicine now. And one other thing that, to me, ties into it, the arrangement with Little Rock and playing the one game there every other year, I believe, we looked this up, it does. It ends at the same time frame. So kind of the world it's a blank canvas to kind of begin painting the way you want to do it in 2025. And I don't think you want to mess with that either. I don't think it's equitable what's going to happen, but, I think you can also explain it in a COVID world. These are just some of the breaks that don't go your way.
Absolutely, and nice figurative painting you just did, Tommy, with your words. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Paint the canvas. Yeah, and, I do think after 25, look at more creative things. Look at more flexibility. I think they want to start playing, let's just say, a Baylor in Energy Stadium or Illinois in Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Those types of things open up more for you when you're finished with the Arlington contract, which was fun. It was great. The last 6 years of it have not been fun for the Razorbacks in terms of wins and losses, but you made a good connection with your great alumnus Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones, and now after 25, let's go on to these other things, and then you could play marquee games in Arlington. Play Texas Tech in Arlington, play Texas in Arlington, things like that.
Yeah, and it's I think it's critical you win a couple, 3 ball games over the last half of this season. Maybe go get you a bowl win, whatever is left to come over the 5 remaining regular season games. Next year, you're going to be trying to sell season tickets in an economy that's uncertain. Now with just 2 SEC games in Fayetteville, yes, you get Texas, but as a season ticket holder, you sign up to see SEC games. Texas is intriguing, but it's not an SEC game. And now you're telling me as a season ticket holder, I'm only going to get 2 games in conference play in my season ticket package. You got some splaining to do to me. So that's a problem potentially next year for the university as well.
Yeah, that's a tough one. And but it's like you said, take your medicine now or later. It's unfortunate for them that what would have been the first 7-game home schedule of all time did not take place as planned this year. And that Nevada game, if the Razorbacks had come out of the gate the way they did against Georgia, they're going to beat Nevada, and then they're going to go up to Notre Dame with a little bit of pub about them, a little ink, and who knows, what happens up there. This game with Tennessee is super critical. I know every time the next game's a big one, but this is a game that is like which one of these teams is really more legitimately on the rise. Tennessee's already had longer to get going under Pruitt, and they felt like they had it with a 6-game win streak in last year. But if Arkansas is to win this game at home on Saturday, then suddenly they're a more attractive, like, dark horse team for next year, or, their program's already gotten a leg up on this comparable program from the other side of the conference. A lot of things at stake in this game, including bowl positioning and all that type of stuff.
Talking with Tom Murphy here on the Morning Rush. Tom, one of the other bits and pieces that came out of Hunter Yurachek's letter was stuff about basketball. 4,000 people will be allowed in Bud Walton Arena, both men and women's. Just kind of your takeaway from the basketball side of things that we got from Hunter Yurachek yesterday.
Yeah, it really was inevitable that you wouldn't be able to put 19,000 in Bud Walton, which I think the excitement about Musselman and this program would have led to, a lot of sellouts in conference play. So it's unfortunate, and the financial issues are just going to linger on. But 4,000 is better than nothing. Mm-hmm. And who would have thought, when we all woke up on that Thursday, whatever, and Arkansas had just beaten Vanderbilt, and then there was all the speculation about playing in front of no crowd, that here we are all these months later, and it wouldn't be over yet, which is, kind of disappointing. I heard someone say yesterday that when this thing hit that, by Father's Day, which is in June, this will be over. No, it's not. And we need a vaccine, and
we were hopeful then,
hopefully sometime early in 21 we can start saying that the worst is behind us.
Yeah. Did you see where these capacity limits apply to everyone but Kentucky? They're still going to have a full house, right? Have you read that?
I did not.
I haven't read it yet,
that.
but I haven't read that yet, but I'm sure it's coming. I'm sure when Arkansas has to go to Rupp, somehow that place is going to be full somehow still. I just don't trust it, Tom. I don't trust it.
Wow. And I saw a lot of people getting mad that A&M had whatever they had in their football stadium. But I have to say, if it was 27, that was light because there was more than that. I think what happened is after kickoff, the student section just continues to fill in. The late arrivers and the people who were underneath the press box, that side of the stadium was probably about 80% full, that third of the stadium or so. And I wouldn't doubt if there were close to 40,000 people at that game. But I think officials in Texas have allowed up to 50%. So, if those people are doing the things they need to do and sanitizing their hands and all, then I'm okay with that.
Tom, when you look at this football game, there's a couple of things that I think stand out. Can Arkansas stop the combination of Eric Gray and Ty Chandler on Saturday night?
Yeah, that's the biggest question, because if they can do that, I think that's advantage Arkansas. That means Derek Garantano has got to make decisions against this Arkansas defense that has played pretty well. The secondary had probably their worst game last week, but they were up against a veteran quarterback who's threw with accuracy, who had a great O-line. Now, this is a very good O-line, but Garantano has the kind of the specter of his turnover problems. He had 6 in 2 games, and he got that figured out against Bama.
Mm-hmm.
But, if things start to go bad for them, it's not long before their players think about, the bad issues they've had. So making Garantano beat you, I think, is key. So that means that O-line, Sam Pittman says, is going to try to swallow up all the D linemen. Okay, that's all right. If your linebackers are coming in and making one-on-one stops with Gray and Chandler, and Jalen Catalon is coming up and doing that, then you're going to be okay. Yeah. Get them in third and mediums, third and longs, and try to win those passing downs. And I think Arkansas's got itself a path to a victory.
Yeah, and let's clear up Catalon's time that he'll miss this week, because that rule has changed and it's based on quarters. That was kind of cleared up for us. So let's make sure that's clear for the audience, because he's been critical in the run-stopping game as well, coming up from the safety spot. And, he will miss the whole game, but part of the game this week.
Oh, yeah, well, so that means the first quarter, right?
I think that's right. So,
well, I am not wholly clear on that rule. So if that's the case,
what they said,
that would be a blow in the first quarter. Certainly want to hold your own in that one until he comes back in. He has been so key, calling defenses. And the thing is, his film study allows him to see what's coming, diagnose things quicker, and relay that to his teammates. And they've just been a better defense with Jalen Catalano on the field. There is no doubt about that. Potentially defensive MVP. And what a find. I mean, Chad Morris had touted one of the best 5 high school players he'd ever seen. Okay, so that's going up against your Deshaun Watsons and all those guys he had scouted with Clemson. And yet last year, and I guess he had some kind of shoulder issue, but they couldn't find a way to get him in games. I mean, he was just minimized. And so he's been huge. And, as Sam Pittman said on game day, that wasn't a vicious type spearing situation. It was just that his helmet came in first, and it led to his ejection. And you just have to tackle with a little bit more clarity without having your helmet as the lead.
Ty, did you read that differently yesterday? Because that's how I'd read it. But
where did you read that?
I did not see it, Tommy. Okay. Whatever it is,
I saw it on
I've
Twitter,
got to go back and research.
Again, it was on Twitter, so maybe it was wrong, but I saw it yesterday. So, but based on quarters and not, it used to be if you were in the first half of a game, you're gone the rest of that game. You were eligible the whole game next week. If you're gone in the second half, you had to sit the first half of the following game. So,
absolutely, that was the case. I do not know. I did not realize that there had been a rule change. There's been a lot going on, so that's definitely a good research deal for me today.
I need to look that up. That's just what I had read on a post yesterday. So anyway, maybe it was dangerous rhetoric. So
I don't know, but worst case scenario, if that's the case, he'd be gone the first quarter.
Yeah.
And we asking Sam about that today on the 2 o'clock.
Yeah, we hadn't had as much access early in part of the week, so
that's right,
because of Election Day. So
that's absolutely right. So he'll play a role in this game. There's no question about that. And like I said, just try to hold their own for that first quarter if that's the case. And it's not that Simeon Blair did poorly back there. It's just that the secondary as a whole went up against a veteran team that protected well, gave Mond plenty of time to read down his options, and they had a tight end that did a great job at getting into the space in those zones in Weidermeyer, and it was just kind of the perfect storm of an offensive team that was prepared for them.
Tom, we appreciate it as always, man. We will talk to you on Monday, get a little recap of Arkansas, Tennessee.
Outstanding, man. Everybody have a great weekend.
Thanks, Tom.
You too, buddy. All right, it is a Recruiting Thursday. Richard Davenport coming up in about 30 minutes. We are brought to you by Breeden RV this morning. They are having their last sale of the year, and despite COVID-19's best effort, they're still getting in new trailers in weekly, and they are marked down as soon as they hit the lot. You can browse RVs with selections like Forest River, Dutchman, Thorne, Coachman, and so many more. The great thing about Breeden RV, you get free maintenance for life. So when you're ready to hibernate yours for the winter, you can also take advantage of their winterization special starting at just $99. The Breeden RV Center in Van Buren, your friends in the RV business.
Find nothing on that.
I scoured the
right.
I scoured the bowels. I'm about to text KP and clarify that.
Clarify that.
Let's go to
maybe what I found was wrong yesterday.
Let's go to Craig, who's in Deer, Arkansas, who's a Volunteers fan living in this state. Craig, you're on the Morning Rush, buddy.
Morning, guys. How y'all doing?
Man, we are okay. How are you this morning?
Man, I'm good. Yeah, I'm a lifelong Vol. First thing I ever saw in color on the television was the Tennessee game on our next door neighbor's TV. And I've been hooked ever since. My dad was a UT. You don't want to hear the whole story, but I moved here and married a Razorback. I was going to clarify a couple of things just to help you media guys. The Tennessee quarterback, his last name is Guarantee No, because we guarantee no victory when he starts. So y'all got to get that part correct. And I will tell you this, Tennessee, why is Florida, when you think of Florida, what do you got quarterback play? LSU last year, what was their quarterback play? What's wrong with Georgia quarterback play? What's good about the Razorbacks? It's Felipe Franks. It's all this other. When you change that position and you get a real alpha dog leader, your team rallies around him and plays better. You're not going to win in this conference with a guy like, and Garantino is a Butch Jones recruit, one of the last ones. I hope he doesn't use his option year and come back next year, because I swear Pruitt will play him again next year. And we've got a dang near 5-star coming in, got a 4-star on the bench who can throw a ball through a car wash without it getting wet, and we still got Garantino. So I don't know if he's got video or pictures, but what blows my mind, I'm going to back up real quick. Here we're playing Kentucky, who we should have beat talent-wise. Our defense allows 3 points in the first half. 3 points. The other 14 were pick sixes by Garantino. And what does Pruitt do? At halftime, fires his defensive line coach. The defense had given up 3 points. And he fires the defensive line coach after his quarterback had thrown 2 pick sixes. And then Pruitt coaches the second half of the defensive line, and look what happened in the second half of the defensive line of the Kentucky game. So I'm mystified here. I don't know. And, I've watched both programs kind of parallel since I moved here. I do pull for the Razorbacks. I have to, because I live with one.
Yeah.
When they're not playing the balls, you get it. But my loyalty's still, I'm still orange. Can't help it. And it's amazing the parallels these programs have gone through. Amazing. But I'm telling you, you got a winner now, in my opinion, as head coach, because he's got the team behind him. And he's got a leader at quarterback. Don't know what you're going to do next year. My guess is Franks is going to come back, because I don't think it would behoove him to try to explore his NFL options at this point.
Yeah, hey, Craig, sorry, we're up against it. Great call this morning, and I think a lot of Arkansas fans believe in you wholeheartedly, 100%. A lot of fans behind Sam Pittman, so a lot of fans. And the quarterback situation, unfortunately, as a Vols fan, you know all about 2018. Franks rolls out, finds Tyree Cleveland in the back of the end zone to that game. For your sake and for our sake, I hope we see something on Saturday night, the same thing.
We're trying to outwork everybody in recruiting.
This is Recruiting Thursday on the Morning Rush, brought to you by Breeden RV, where your adventures begin.
Make a hot spring spa part of your day-to-day routine and discover what it means to get more out of your day. Burton Pools and Spas is your local hot spring spa dealer. Hot Spring Spas, the #1 spa brand, helps reduce stress, ease muscle pain, and helps you get a better night's sleep. Invest in yourself and get more out of each day with a new Hot Spring Spa at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
The Toyota Tundra and Toyota Tacoma. Load them up with all your favorite stuff.
Don't forget those sleeping bags.
And take off on your next epic weekend. Toyota trucks are made to go anywhere.
Hey, help me with these ATVs.
And do all the things you love doing.
Got one.
And when your day winds down, one thing is for sure.
What a day. Let's come back next weekend.
Absolutely nothing sounds better than an amazing weekend made possible by the virtually indestructible Toyota Tundra and Tacoma. Visit your local Toyota dealer or go to buyatoyota.com to find a great deal on the Go Anywhere, Do Anything 2020 Toyota Tundra or Tacoma and start making the most of your weekends. Toyota, let's go places.
Wee wee! Beat Up Sauce Alert! 4 new sauces just hit the menu. Listen closely for the lineup. Player 1, pizza sauce. The game day decision of pizza versus wings is now easier than ever. Player 2, lemon pepper. Yep, that's right. Now it's a sauce too. Player 3, orange sauce. Served with a fortune cookie on the side. And lastly, coming in hot, Carolina Reaper. This sauce just moved up to captain, taking over as Beat Up's new blazing sauce. Locations in Little Rock, Fort Smith, Sherwood, Jonesboro, and Conway. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar!
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dealing with a CPAP every night? The noise, the constant cleaning, your wife telling you she can't take the noise anymore. Dr. Bo Sparkman at Family Dental Care of Fort Smith can help you with sleep apnea with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of that annoying CPAP. Dr. Sparkman has years of experience and has treated hundreds of patients just like you. Call for your appointment today, 785-1419. That's 785-1419. Get rid of your CPAP with Family Dental Care of Fort Smith.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Did you invest in real estate only to find out that real estate takes up too much of your time? If you answered yes, then it's time to make a call to the experts. With more than 30 years of combined property management experience and more than 16,000 units managed, Trinity Multifamily are the ones to call. Get your life back. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
They say, trust the process. But if enjoyment isn't part of that process, don't trust the process. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
New Bud Light Seltzer?
Yep.
A hard seltzer with a hint of fruit flavor.
Yep.
Can I try one?
Yep.
That tastes great.
Told you.
Bud Light Seltzer, unquestionably good. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beers, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
What happened to paying one price and getting everything included? You buy an airline ticket and pay extra to bring a change of clothes, book a hotel room, and you're shelling out for Wi-Fi and overpriced bottled water. Really? Imagine my delight when I found out roadside assistance is now included with my shelter insurance auto policy. So if I get a flat tire or need a jump, I just call and they take care of me. There's no additional cost, but some restrictions apply.
Ask shelter agents Ted McAvoy or Jeff Clark about a free insurance review.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Goodbye touchdown. Raleigh Williams with a 71-yard touchdown run on the opening series.
Video streaming live on Facebook, Periscope, and YouTube.
The only thing that I watch on Facebook is the Morning Rush. That's it.
How important is this game Saturday night for recruiting the city of Memphis? And we know Memphis, barbecue, blues, basketball. There's also a lot of football talent in Memphis. You being Ole Miss, Oxford, not too far away. Starkville, Mississippi, not too far away. Can you beat Tennessee? You're not playing Vanderbilt this year, but Tennessee has a pretty good foothold into Memphis, its own city. Can you beat them and have really the trifecta of areas kind of surrounding that? That's an important metroplex, just like Dallas is for Arkansas, just like Tulsa and Oklahoma City is for Arkansas. Can you beat Tennessee? How is that going to impact recruiting? That's coming up on the Morning Rush.
Yeah, brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. Make a hot spring spa part of your everyday routine and discover what it means to get more out of your day. Burton Pools and Spas is your local hot spring spa dealer, and they have the largest selection for you to choose from. Hot Spring Spas has over 28 models for you to select from. They even have saltwater models now that you can choose from, which makes the maintenance easier than ever right now. It's the #1 spa brand. It'll help reduce stress, ease muscle pain, even help you get a better night's sleep. So check them out at their Springdale or Fort Smith locations right now and invest in yourself and get more out of each day. It's a hot spring spa available at Burton Pools and Spas, Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com. We did clarify during the break, Catalan full go from the start of the game this week. So
Thank you, Mr. Kyle Parkinson.
Issue there compared to the way the rule had been proposed.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it because I wasn't 100%. I know we were both kind of wishy-washy because we weren't sure, but I didn't want it. But I thought that was the case. But thank you, Kyle Parkinson, for clearing that up.
No issues there.
Yeah, happy to have him the entire game. Here's what Sam Pittman had to say how important is the city of Memphis for Arkansas football.
Well, we obviously have coaches in that region. You know, the University of Tennessee is hard to beat, you know, in the state of Tennessee. We certainly are going in there trying to find out who the best players are, and we have a couple of coaches assigned to that area on our staff.
Now, Penny Hardaway, Memphis' head basketball coach, has made jokes about, hey, we don't want Musk coming across the bridge. And I wouldn't either. There's a ton of basketball talent within Memphis. Just think of James Wiseman, who's going to be top 3 in this NBA draft, ended up going to Memphis. There is a ton of basketball talent, but there is also a lot of football talent, particularly 3 that are just on your roster from this past recruiting class. Marcus Henderson, Darren Turner, Ray Curry. I know that you had Ryan Winkle in the 2018. Chad Moore's only got 1 guy from Memphis in his 2 years. Pittman's already got 3. This is a part closer to Arkansas that you need to take advantage of. About 5 hours away from Fayetteville, not too far. Kind of like Dallas is, about 4.5. Oklahoma City's, 3.5. Tulsa's an hour and a half. I mean, there's certain metroplex that you need to hit. St. Louis about 5. Those are kind of the surrounding big metropolitan areas that you need to have success in recruiting. Well, part of success stems from winning football games. And if you can show Memphis kids, hey, you beat Ole Miss, Oxford, close, about an hour and a half. You beat Mississippi State, Starkville, not too far away. And you can beat Tennessee, too. it's going to bode well for you when you're going into different homes. Sam Pittman is known for building relationships. You couple that with winning football games, it's going to go well for you when you visit kids' homes.
And you mentioned Tennessee, but Ole Miss is another one to throw in there. Mississippi State, that's a region that's a hotbed for recruiting for not just Tennessee. It's two other SEC schools that are right there, and even time-wise, mile-wise, much closer to the Memphis area. So it's an area that there's a lot of Razorback fans in the Memphis area. It's right there on the border, as we well know. But it's not just Tennessee. Tennessee's not a program that you play every year any longer. Kind of wish you did, because that was a fun time in the early days of the SEC when Tennessee was a permanent rival before you expanded and changed the schedule in the SEC. But Ole Miss and Mississippi State are teams that, unless something changes, you're going to play them every year. They're in your division. You want to win because you want to win in Memphis because you want to beat those guys. And this year you've won the Mississippi State Championship. You beat both of those teams. It's hard to have a good, much less a great year, unless you beat both Ole Miss and Mississippi State. So I would say Memphis is more important, not for Tennessee, but you got to beat those other guys.
Which you did.
Yeah.
So, and it's important to continue up that stretch. That's what I was saying.
Recruiting in Memphis is important, I think, more so for Ole Miss and Mississippi State than it is Tennessee.
Yeah. Yeah, because here's what, and I mentioned it, Tommy and I were talking about this through the show. At one time, Tennessee was not a football hotbed for high school recruits, but because Nashville is growing so much, I mean, you think about the Brentwood area, there's a bunch of really nice private schools in Nashville with a lot of football talent. And so the main cog within the state of Tennessee is Nashville. Then you got Memphis and Knoxville area. You got West Tennessee and then East Tennessee, which is in Memphis. That's why it's so important for Arkansas and Central Arkansas to get their head out of their rear end as far as the high school football coaches go and get this thing back on track. That's one of the main reasons your high school football recruiting rankings have been down. Now, it looks like it's trending back up. You got some guys down there that look like they know what they're doing in terms of coaching football. But the capital city of your state can't suck at football for the most part and then expect to have solid in-state recruiting. And that just can't happen. You can't allow that to happen if you're the high school coaches within the state of Arkansas. And part of that problem, as we've talked about, is because all these kids that are deciding, hey, football, basketball, play basketball.
Here's where I would Arkansas's basketball talent level comparatively is clearly the better of the two, but I would argue with you from the standpoint that Bryant is nationally good this year. We know that Pulaski Academy's been nationally good. North Little Rock, they lost to Bryant last week, but they are very good. Arkansas went out of state this year and played and had other teams from across the country come in here and play high school football this year. And the Arkansas teams have done very well.
Virginia, Texas teams, Tennessee teams. But I'm not talking about this year because I've given credit to where credit's due with Buck James and Bryant. But relative in years past, your Little Rock schools have sucked in football. That is, and I'm not talking about the Pulaski Academies of the world. I'm not talking about one or two. But it can't just be one or two programs that are holding up. It has to be a consensus effort from the from the city of Little Rock and the 501 area to get that thing back in gear.
I think over the last 10 years, your statement holds a lot of water, but I think there are some programs right now, and more than one or two programs. I think Little Rock Parkview is on the way back with Brad Boldings, their head coach. Little Rock public school football has to get better in order for Arkansas football. You can't have your number one population base not producing you more SEC caliber football players in a calendar year, but I think the trend is in the right direction, and I think the population has moved in Central Arkansas. More people are moving to places like Bryant, like Conway, and other places in the outer line areas, and that's urban sprawl. That's just the way things go over time, because that's where newer homes are being built, newer subdivisions are being built, newer school districts are being built. So, with newer school buildings. That's just the natural progression of things anyway. So that's just the way things go.
Yeah, Little Rock, and like you mentioned with Bolden, you got James Joyner, Landon Rogers, Aaron Outley are some of the kids that are probably going to end up at Arkansas. Rogers already committed, so is Outley. Then you look at Brian as well. I mean, there are some programs that you need to get back on track, and that are on track, and it just needs some help.
All right, we'll talk to Richard Davenport coming up. We're brought to you by World of Wireless, 877-305-DISH. They're celebrating 25 years in business this month at World of Wireless. You can get a Google Hub for free and a $100 Visa gift card. That's over $200 in free gifts when you sign up for the Hopper system right now with Dish at your local premier Dish dealer, World of Wireless. 877-305-DISH. Help them celebrate 25 years in business. 877-305-DISH for WOW, World of Wireless.
Also, happy American Football Day to everyone listening. We'll get into more conversation coming up.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
If you have experience transporting frozen and refrigerated goods and want to be part of a trucking family with insurance and be home every week, you need to contact Brent Higgins Trucking. Since 1997, Brent Higgins Trucking in Mulberry has been proudly delivering to and from various areas of the United States, including but not limited to Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Brent Higgins Trucking, where you're a name, not a number. Contact them at 479-997-2366 or at BrentHigginsTrucking.com.
At any of the Clay Maxey companies, it's just an easy, customer-centered experience. We wanted to make it a one-stop shop, so we added Kawasaki and Can-Am and Hustler and Worldline. It's really been a nice add for us. We provide full service. We're doing pickup and delivery. We were able to add the Vexus line, which is a premier bass boat line. We want to make it easy. We want you to visit us at any of the Clay Maxey companies. Clay Maxey Ford and Harrison, Berryville, Motorsports, Marine, or Clay Maxey NWA.
Dell Technologies just announced their Black Friday sale. They're releasing new doorbusters every weekday, plus up to 50% off cutting-edge tech for your business. There's no better time to upgrade your small business with the latest laptops and desktops with Intel Core processors. Plus, there's free shipping on everything. Yes, everything. Give Dell Technologies advisors a call. They'll identify the right tech solution for your business. Call 877-ASK-DELL or go to Dell.com/SB Black Friday.
You can be the hero of the office. Just go to hitthatline.com and enter to win the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest. Every week, one lucky listener wins lunch from your local Hardee's restaurant for up to 15 people at your job site or workplace. It's easy to sign up. Just click on the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest button, give us your information, and you're entered just like that. Every Thursday, we announce a winner during halftime. Win free lunch for all your work buddies. The Hardee's Lunch Bunch from Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com.
Evans Body Shop wants you to know that we are here for you. During this uncertain time, let us take the wheel and get your car repaired so you are ready to roll when the time comes. We offer pickup and delivery and will sanitize your vehicle during your complimentary detail that is done with all repairs. Don't want to get out at all? We have you covered. We offer a mobile estimating tool that allows you to take a few pictures and we will email or text your estimate directly to you. Check out our website or Facebook for more details.
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
Come see what's new at the Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith. In stock now, irons from TaylorMade, Mizuno, along with new woods and irons from Callaway. Also in stock, the RTX Zip Core wedges and Spider putters. The Golf Nut carries a great line of shoes, apparel, and accessories for your everyday golfing needs. As always, check Facebook for our daily specials. Work on your game in our indoor simulation base, or play a round of golf on great courses like Pebble Beach or Bethpage Black. The Golf Nut, Fort Smith's #1 golf shop since 1994. Is your Arkansas home at least 10 years old and served by OG&E? OG&E is offering Arkansas customers a no-cost-to-you program to increase your comfort and lower your bills. A trained crew will perform an energy audit at no cost to you, and if your home qualifies, their crews will install measures that can include attic insulation, LED light bulbs, weather stripping, advanced power strips, smoke alarms, carbon monoxide detectors, and much more. The services provided through this program are at no cost to you for qualifying homes. If you or someone you know could benefit from home weatherization improvements, call OG&E today at 800-272-9741. That's 800-272-9741. Green RV in Van Buren is having their last sale of the year. Despite COVID-19's best effort, we are still getting in new trailers in weekly, and they are marked down as soon as they hit the lot. Browse Green RV's selection of Forest River, Dutchman, Thor, and Coachman products and pick out the best fit for you. You can buy with ease knowing that your new purchase comes with free maintenance for life. Once you're ready to hibernate for the winter, bring your camper into us for deluxe winterization specials starting at just $99. Green RV will work on all makes and models, and don't forget that all their accessories are installed for free. The Breeden RV Center in Van Buren, your friends in the RV business.
It's Truck Month at Randall Ford, and you'll find clearance deals like never before. Stop in today and check out the largest inventory of F-150s in the area, with savings up to $15,000 off. But it doesn't stop there. How about $4,750 retail customer cash on a new EcoSport SE or SES? Buy today and we'll deliver your new purchase right to your front door. Shop the #1 brand in America, Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers, or online 24/7 at randallford.com. The fourth oldest Ford dealer in America.
You have work to do. You need a tractor that helps get it done. TYM has the full range of tractors designed to meet the task. With the TYM easy-to-use controls and features, switching from one job to another is easy. And with the full range of models from 19 horsepower to 105 horsepower turbo, there's a TYM tractor that's right for the job and for you. But you can't buy a TYM tractor just anywhere. It's only sold at authorized TYM dealers like Bush Tractor, 7301 South Zero, Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Partly to mostly sunny sky. Our high today will be right around the middle 70s. Tonight, a little bit of patchy fog develops, an overnight low near 45. Sunshine with us on Friday, our high in the low 70s, and Saturday, sunshine, our high on Saturday, into the low 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Listen to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and SmackDown. Now every weekday from 11 to 1. KERX, Paris, Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your mornings.
ESPN 95.3.
Jarrett will be the starter. He understands our expectations, and I felt like he's had another good week.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one Razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Sunshine. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy? What's wrong? Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
It is a recruiting Thursday, and we are going to talk to Richard Davenport coming up in about 5 minutes. It's brought to you by Breeden RV this morning. They're having their last sale of the year, and despite everything going on with COVID and everything, they are still getting in new travel trailers that are marked down weekly. These are brands you know and trust, and the best part about Breeden RV is your new purchase comes with free maintenance for life. Let's say you're trying to stash away your RV for the winter. They have winterization specials starting at just $99. Breeden RV Center in Van Buren, your friends in the RV business. All right, let's go and get into your Hog Update.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Arkansas wins the national championship! The Arkansas Razorbacks have completed the dream season!
This is your Hog Update on The Morning Rush.
Jeremy Pruitt said that Traylon Burks is one of the best players in the Southeastern Conference. Talked to him, he was marveling at his speed, his size, his agility. Dude's got it all, and I'm assuming they're going to try and game plan to stop Traylon on Saturday night. Might be unsuccessful when it comes to that.
Yeah, matchup problem when you got Traylon Burks' speed and size. Again, that's what I'm saying. When he gets ready to go to the combine, his metrics are going to show out.
It's going to be fun, man. Besides that, you had Jeremy Pruitt also saying, as you heard at the top of our open, Jared Garantano as what did the caller say? What do they call him? Jared Canto?
Yeah, well, he played off the word guaranteeing. You got a guarantee because you guarantee no win.
And loss.
It's Garantino because you guarantee no win when you play him.
That was great. So that was awesome as far as that goes. Jonathan Marshall is second in the SEC when it comes to quarterback hurries, only behind one Alabama player, which is pretty cool. You think about that. He has just been really getting after the quarterbacks. As far as basketball news goes, your 24/7 recruiting rankings with the 2022 class is off the the charts, something we're going to talk to Richard about coming up. Nick Smith out of Sylvan Hills, he's moved all the way up to 25th, the 25th best player in the country. Khalil Ware out of North Little Rock, he's all the way up to 32. Then you got Darian Ford out of Magnolia, who we've had on this program. He's at 52. And then Joseph Pinion, who's already committed out of Morrilton, is all the way up to 144. Wow. So you got 4 guys within the top 150 of 24/7 sports recruiting rankings.
So we'll talk to Richard about that coming up. Is that all you had for the Hog Update?
Go ahead. Yeah, that's fine.
That's your Hog Update. It's brought to you by NWA Gold and Silver, Bentonville, Fayetteville, and in Fort Smith. Hey, right now, if you've got gold or silver coins with the price of gold on the rise and just climbing every day, seems like right now is the time to take those gold or silver coins in and find out what they're worth and put cash in your hand. If you got something in your safety deposit box at the bank, maybe it's in your gun safe, or maybe it's that old jewelry your wife's never going to wear again, that out-of-style pendant, whatever it is. Why risk losing it, having it stolen, something else happen to it, when you could turn it into cash today? Do that at NWA Gold and Silver. They're at 1130 North Walton in Bentonville, Nelson's Crossing by Jason's Deli in Fayetteville, and on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. That's NWA Gold and Silver, Bentonville, Fayetteville, and in Fort Smith, the people that pay the most.
We will get into the basketball stuff, but first I want to start with a football question, Richard. Amante Spivey, running back at the University of Arkansas, announced that he is going to be entering the transfer portal. Just kind of your thoughts on his decision to do just that.
Well, you know, a lot of times when kids announce something like that, people automatically think it's one thing, and sometimes there's some other behind the scenes stuff that is going on too. So I thought he had a chance to make some damage next year at the running back position. I think he had a good burst. He had good size. I thought he, you know, if he just would you know, do everything that was needed, I think he had a chance to get some serious playing time next year. But obviously that's not going to be the case, and he's going to transfer.
Richard, we were talking about before you came on the county, the city, the surrounding areas of Memphis, Tennessee. Now, we were joking, hey, basketball, blues, and barbecue, a lot of good stuff. But, man, there's some football talent there as well. If Arkansas is able to beat Tennessee on Saturday night, they already got the win over Ole Miss in Oxford, about an hour and a half away. They got the win over Mississippi State. Starkville's about 2:45 away. How important would Memphis be as a recruiting territory if Arkansas got the win on Saturday night?
Well, I mean, anytime you do that, you know, you recruit an area, and it's your opponents. Obviously, you beat your opponent, and you're recruiting in their territory. That's bragging rights, and kids kind of notice that. But right now, you know, Chad Morris and his staff really recruited Memphis and Tennessee when they were there. And I'm not saying Coach Pittman and his staff's not going to, but they're the only coach that's really that I know of that's recruiting Tennessee, and it is Memphis. Is Brad Davis, which obviously he's got some great connections there. So, and I haven't really talked to very many kids that are you know, talking to Arkansas or considering Arkansas, but obviously that could change in the future.
Yeah. And you look at what Tennessee has done. I mean, I know you follow it a lot closer than most because that's your beat and that's what you do, but it's been pretty impressive what Jeremy Pruitt has been able to do in his couple of seasons at Tennessee. The number of 4-stars he's put in there. How has he done it, and where are the players coming from that Jeremy Pruitt's been able to put together in his recruiting classes that have been pretty impressive so far?
Well, with Tennessee, they've always recruited nationally for the most part. Surprisingly or not surprisingly, Tennessee doesn't turn out a lot of SEC caliber talent. They definitely turn out talent, but not in great numbers. But they definitely spread themselves quite a bit nationally, and they do a lot of damage in Tennessee. in Georgia, in North Carolina, and obviously in Florida. They dipped into Alabama. They also hit it regionally, but they try to go nationally too.
And we've talked about Sam Pittman and what he has spoken about learning what he learned from Kirby Smart in his time at Georgia. Clearly, what Jeremy Pruitt picked up in his time from Nick Saban as well, has set the course on what he needed to do recruiting wise. Because Tennessee's been pretty impressive on the recruiting trail.
Yeah, there's no doubt. They've been usually in the top 10, top 15 nationally, and let's face it, Tennessee has some of the best facilities in college football. There's no doubt about that, and they just they've had a good tradition over the years. Recently, it hasn't been so good, but they still have a strong brand, and kids in the region definitely remember that. And like I said, Tennessee. Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, those places in Alabama, the kids still they hear about Tennessee on a consistent basis. So they understand that they have a rich tradition, just not so much recently.
RD, you wrote a really good piece about Cameron Ball. What'd you learn about him, man?
He's just a kid who, in talking to him, he's just a great kid. Very personable. I think, obviously Arkansas is hoping he becomes a Razorback, and I think with Christopher Paul, the linebacker from Georgia, and them being pretty good friends, I think that helps quite a bit. I think it's going to probably come down to Arkansas and Georgia Tech, but he announced just the other day that he's probably going to announce his decision February the 5th. So he's got a long time before he makes a decision. So a lot of things could happen. Some other schools could come in late and try to see if they could get in the mix with him. So right now, I think Arkansas is in pretty good shape. But with that amount of time before a decision, and especially in February, schools are scrambling for prospects, especially defensive tackle prospects. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of bigger schools that he's got a good offer list now. But what I'm saying is some of the schools that are maybe just looking at him right now and touch base with him really turn up the heat, and that's when it gets really interesting near the end of the recruiting process.
Richard, when you think about what's going on with COVID, how it's impacting on-campus recruiting visits, do you think because of all this, the less traveling, less moving from the house, do you think that's going to cause a lot of student athletes, not only at the University in Arkansas, but across high schools across the United States, to stay closer at home or more apt to go to an in-state school?
I think it could lend itself to that, especially kids that have not been. You've always in the past taken the opportunity during the off season to visit schools maybe farther away, just to for let's say a spring vacation or a summer vacation. You take the opportunity to be able to do that. Obviously, kids haven't been able to do that back in the spring or in the summer, and we don't know when that's going to ever, be back open. So I tend to think that just because of COVID, like you said, I think kids may have a tendency to stay closer to home. But I think obviously that's up to each individual kid. They may feel comfortable enough about going away from home without visiting a campus that they're not that familiar with by just looking online. Because right now, let's face it, a lot of kids that's what they're doing. They're looking online. They're doing Zoom meetings with the coaching staffs and Zoom tours of the campuses and facilities. So it's kind of a crazy thing right now. But I tend to think that kids right now, it just depends on the individual.
RD, I also want to talk to you about a little basketball before we close you down here. 24/7 Sports came out with their updated recruiting rankings on that side of things. And my goodness gracious, Arkansas kids got a shot in the arm. Nick Smith is the now 25th best-ranked high school recruit in the 2022 class. Khalil Ware's at 32, Joe Sapinion's at 144, and then Darian Ford's at 52. 2022. Just kind of your thoughts at seeing these guys fly up their recruiting rankings. And, man, how good is this 2022 in-state recruiting basketball class?
Well, yeah, I think with Nick Smith and where both of those guys, they were able to be seen during the summer. They still got out there and played and were able to be seen. And I think with Darian Ford, his reputation was already strong. And Joseph, because he wasn't really able to get out there because he had an injury back during in the spring. He wasn't able to really get out there this summer and be seen. So I think when you're able to, just a limited amount of time that analysts have an opportunity to see kids, and you're out there being seen, I think that's a key reason why some of these kids shot up there. And they obviously are very talented.
RD, before we let you go, this is not an in-state kid. This is an out-of-state kid that Eric Balsam and his staff have been keeping tabs on. Trey Alexander out of Oklahoma is expected to make his decision next Tuesday. Now, for the longest time, I thought he was going OU. That was pretty solid. But apparently Arkansas has been getting after this kid really hard recruiting. You think he picks the Hogs next Tuesday?
We'll see. We'll see. I think there. You got Auburn, Oklahoma. You got some other schools, but right now, I don't know. I don't have a strong feel. I'd probably lean maybe a different direction. I don't know. It's just he's right now he's kind of keeping things close to the vest, but we'll see.
All right. Well, Richard, we always appreciate it. We managed to get through the show without a single food question with you, so we'll save those.
What's wrong with us?
We'll save those for. I did have a chicken fried steak last night, though, buddy. So we'll save a food question or two for next week.
Well, I eat healthy. I had a Subway.
Yeah. All right, RD. Appreciate it as always, bud.
See you guys.
All right, good stuff from the best Richard Davenport here on the Morning Rush every Thursday at 8:05 here on Recruiting Thursday.
Yeah, glad to have RD with us every Thursday on the show. Hey, if you're building a home, that can, I'm going to tell you, building a home can be stressful. You talk about testing a marriage, go build or remodel a home. And whether you're the homeowner or the contractor, changing plans, changing subcontractors not showing up, non-payment, all of these issues can cause the homeowner and the contractors to be at odds, and that can result in lawsuits. If you are a homeowner or a contractor and you find yourself needing legal help, call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partners. They have experience representing homeowners and contractors. You can call Brad Hull or Kevin Hickey at 479-434-2414. That's the River Valley office. 479-802-6560 is the Northwest Arkansas office, or check out their new website, artriallawyers.com. That's artriallawyers.com for the Kevin Hickey Law Partners.
I want to jump back into the Texas A&M conversation. If you haven't heard, Arkansas Athletics Director Hunter Yurachek released a statement yesterday. He does a good job with releasing a letter from your AD every once in a while, and part of this letter incorporated the reasoning behind Texas A&M and Arkansas playing back in Arlington next year. He said in the letter the reasoning behind that was so we don't prolong the Texas A&M Arkansas and Jerry World. That doesn't mean they'll discontinue it completely, playing a game every single year in Jerry World. It just looks like, from all indications, from Ross Bjork saying they don't want to play there anymore, from Hunter making that statement, that the series is going to be done after 2024 in terms of not being a home and home.
So how often should you play beginning 2025? Should you play every year, every 2 years? How often should you play in Arlington?
In my opinion, you should play every year, and you should get a good – and I have screamed from the high heavens. I think Nebraska would be an ideal opponent for that matchup. Now, when it comes to that series, or not just series as a whole, it's just important to have a foothold in Texas. The only game – you'd play in College Station once every other year. That's the only time you'd ever play in Texas. What do we always hammer on Recruiting Thursdays? How important it is for you to have a foothold in Texas, in the Dallas metro area. Well, if you're not playing there.
Well, and I agree with you. Having a presence there is important. I've talked about from the university level. They want to recruit students as much as we all want to recruit big offensive linemen and speedy wide receivers and great quarterbacks. You bring up Nebraska, that'd be a great opponent with a national brand. They obviously have a history there from the old Big 8 days. I think an opponent, and this is an opponent that's on your schedule, that you got to have someone that has an equal interest in the state of Texas. As long as Nebraska's in the Big Ten, I don't know how much of a Texas recruiting base and a Texas interest they have. It's not easy for Nebraska fans and Nebraska, to play and probably split that stadium. I don't know how much interest they'd have long-term playing Arkansas in Arlington every year, and then every other year perhaps giving up a home game themselves. How about Oklahoma State, though? There's a program that needs to recruit the state of Texas. There's a program that that would be on equal footing with Arkansas. That certainly wouldn't shy away from that series. They've already got something scheduled. If you're going to play someone down there every year and you can't get someone from the state of Texas, and two programs that need a presence in North Texas, Northeast Texas, I've always thought Arkansas and Oklahoma State ought to play more regularly.
Well, I've said, and that's why I initially said, but Clay changed my. Oklahoma State has no need to play another game in Dallas. They're playing Texas Tech, TCU, Baylor, Texas. I mean, they have all these games already scheduled. That is 100% from a personal standpoint. Oklahoma State would be. I love Mike Gundy. I love the dynamic of Oklahoma State and Arkansas, but the Cowboys don't need to play there. There's no needed presence for the Cowboys. So if you want to look at a real, again, personally, I'm 100% on board with you. But Clay explained it, and I thought he explained it very well. There's no need for him to. None. There's just like he said, there's no need for Arkansas to play Oklahoma every year. It's just not a need. There's not a need for Arkansas, for either of those Oklahoma schools to play another game in Texas because of how many games they already play.
So, so what's the need for Nebraska to play in Texas?
Because
as long as they're in the Big Ten.
But they still want to get kids out of Texas. They still want to have. I mean, there's a lot of Nebraska fans that are still ticked that they're not in the Big 12 anymore. We saw that.
And I've got questions about how long they'll be in the Big Ten after the way. I think there's some relationship strain between Nebraska and the Big Ten after the way this football season went down.
And you're not going to play like Rice, or if you want to get a marquee quality opponent, you want to get someone that's worth it. And to me, Nebraska just popped in my head one day. I think that would be a really fun game. Now, it's a little farther drive than Fayettevilleans have to. It's about 9.5 from Lincoln. But Nebraska is the team that I think you continue to prolong this series following 2024 in Dallas Cowboy Stadium.
Yep. So we'll see what they come up with for 2025. But I don't think there's as many good answers as you might think there is for that series. Hey, I want to tell you about our friends at Gaston's White River Resort. Great menu for the weekend coming up. I want to check out their dinner specials online at gastons.com. The chef always does a great job of bringing in some great seafood specials. And, of course, Saturday night, always the roast prime rib on the menu that you can check out. This weekend, pork ossobuco. And then they also got some great seafood specials, some grilled opa this weekend on the menu, and a few other great seafood specials that you can look at. Just go to gastons.com, click on menu. You can see the full menu plus the dinner specials that are on there for the weekend. Always a great time of the year to spend a weekend at Gaston's. Call and make your reservation between now and the end of the year. We'll be telling you about some of their specials coming up for lodging reservations that will begin very soon over the course of the winter months. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
This is Recruiting Thursday on the Morning Rush, brought to you by Breeden RV, where your adventures begin.
Yes, sir!
The Toyota Tundra and Toyota Tacoma. Load them up with all your favorite stuff.
Don't forget those sleeping bags.
And take off on your next epic weekend. Toyota trucks are made to go anywhere.
Hey, help me with these ATVs.
And do all the things you love doing.
Got one.
And when your day winds down, one thing is for sure.
What a day. Let's come back next weekend.
Absolutely nothing sounds better than an amazing weekend.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo Amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead Go-Karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
Frank Rowe Furniture 6-day only sale, November the 2nd through November the 7th. For instance, this leather sofa in love with powered recliners and headrests, regular $3,600, finance price $29.93, cash price $27.44. Large sectional with ottoman, regular $31.05, finance price $25.57, cash price $23.44. All furniture, bedroom furniture are on sale. Don't miss out. 6 days only at Frank Rowe Furniture. Best seats in the house.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
For your trade today at Orr Chevrolet on Auto Park Drive in Fort Smith and 24/7 at OrChevyFS.com. Chevy, find new roads.
You always get more at Orr.
It's time to plan the Christmas party for your business or family. And the place to make it a special and memorable time is at Doe's Eat Place in Fort Smith. Award-winning steaks and atmosphere, along with the largest selections of adult beverages in the River Valley, await your evening. When you think about what to get that hard-to-impress boss or family member, gift certificates from Doe's are sure to impress. Don't delay. Call Doe's Eat Place at 784-9111. That's 784-9111. Doe's Eat Place, open 5 till 9 Tuesday through Thursday and 5 till 10 Friday and Saturday.
Are you looking for a new place to call home? Whether you're looking for an apartment, duplex, townhome, or a house, Trinity Multifamily has you covered. They even have options in surrounding states, from Texas to Michigan and Kansas to Tennessee. If you're looking for a new place to call home, make Trinity Multifamily your first call at 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
Wave Rural Connect is bringing state-of-the-art fiber internet, TV, and phone service to your home. Get amazingly fast fiber internet as low as $49.95 per month. TV packages start at $32.95. Fiber phone service starts at $29.95. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-4WAVE-RC to find out if we're installing in your area. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Oh my gourd, folks. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. This month, I want to say thanks. So I'm on a mission to make car buying easy as pie and help you snag a sweet deal on one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. This month, you could drive a nicer, newer car and save up to $4,150. That's a lot of dough. So if your old ride is flaky, crusty, burnt, or rusty, don't let it squash your happiness. Trade it for a nicer, newer car now, even if you still owe money, and save up to $4,150. Plus, my For the People approval process makes financing your nicer, newer car easy as pie. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for winter in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Deals this delicious won't last long, so visit us today at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Jones now throwing to the end zone, and it is complete!
All your favorite podcasts in one place. The Hit That Line Podcast Network. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
Want to get into some comments from both Sam Pittman and Jeremy Pruitt coming up here on the Morning Rush. It is also American Football Day, and we're going to be doing this next segment, so text these in. Call in at 877-377-6963. Your favorite football game that you've attended, and then a favorite football game you watched. They don't have to necessarily be Arkansas correlated, but those two categories are coming up here on the Morning Rush.
Last night, my phone dinged, and it was a text message from our guy Jenkins, and he was over at River City Bistro, and he sent us a picture of some delicious-looking food.
Yes.
You had the corned beef hash and then a big old plate of their mac and cheese.
Oh, my God.
I have not had the corned beef hash. It's one of the few things on the menu. How
fantastic,
was it?
Fantastic. A bed of potatoes. I had a good au jus roux within it, then the corned beef. It had a over-easy fried egg on top of it. Little salt and pepper on it, and then I had paired that with their macaroni and cheese, which was incredible. And then started off the meal, though, with their homemade bruschetta.
That's
the
good.
bruschetta
I've had
was
that there.
incredible, too.
Yeah, I've had that. Now, you sent me the picture, and, of course, I loved everything about it. Our boy Ty, who was in on the text message, liked everything but the mac and cheese. He's one of these weirdos that don't like mac and cheese for some reason. But their mac and cheese is really, really good there.
Absolutely fantastic.
You can tell it does not come out of a box. It is homemade.
Oh, it's homemade
stuff there. So.
It's homemade, just like Mama makes.
You give 2 thumbs up on the corned beef.
2 thumbs up there,
on
and
the
also
corned beef hash.
While you're bringing it up, I also had another gentleman. I'll bring this up later because I need to find this guy's name. But the gentleman's paid for my food last night. He was from Little Rock. Super nice gesture.
Really?
See if I can
look at you.
He was a doctor out of Little Rock, and he was traveling in Fort Smith on business. But yeah, I didn't even know the guy.
Well, good for you. So, well, head over to River City Bistro and try that out. They got brunch on the weekends. That's one of our favorites.
Maddie T did the brunch.
The brunch
Sunday.
is great. Yeah,
Yep.
It starts at 10 Saturday and Sunday. You can do that and try the corned beef hash or any of their great sandwiches. What day was Sandwich Day? 2 days ago? National Sandwich Day?
National Sandwich Day.
Yeah,
that
this
sounds
week.
right. Yeah,
that's 2 days ago. Anyway, you want a good sandwich? That's your spot. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
Guy's name was Darren Wilburn. He was a doctor in Little Rock. So if he's listening, maybe, possibly, shout out to you, and I appreciate the kind gesture, my friend.
Yeah.
Zach in Paragould text in. He says, I don't know if y'all have talked about it, but Amonte Spivey has entered the transfer portal. In case you're just hopping in here to the Morning Rush, an Arkansas running back, as we know, Amonte Spivey, he mentioned this on social media last night, he has entered the transfer portal. So that's something you want to keep an eye on. He is from Alabama, if I remember that correctly. It wasn't too far. His hometown was not too far from Auburn, if I'm remembering that correctly. So that's a guy, as far as the running depth goes, it's a guy that you were missing. So now you've had, let's see, Jacobs opted out in favor of the NFL draft. Jarquez opted out. Jarquez McClellan. Zach from Paragould, or not Zach from Paragould, good grief. Amonte Spivey's entered the transfer portal. You had Chibuizi Nwana. And there might be 1 or 2 other players that have either hit the portal or opted out, but it's not too many, but those are some of the players that has happened so far this season. And when we're talking about this Tennessee game on Saturday night, you're going to need all hands on deck. And Kellen Mond's performance in the Texas A&M game was pretty solid. I just don't anticipate Jerry Garantano doing that same thing on Saturday night. And you heard, if you didn't hear at the top of our open, Jerry Garantano, as told by Jeremy Pruitt last night, is starting for the Vols. This is what he had to say about the backup in Harrison Bailey.
Well, I mean, it's been good to get Harrison reps, and he continues to progress just like anybody would. He's getting more practice time, and you have to do something a lot of times before you get good at it.
Who's the most popular player on the football team, Tommy?
Quarterback.
Backup quarterback.
Well, okay.
Backup quarterback. And so
he's the guy that's never messed anything up.
Yeah, and there's always this idea, and it's not, I mean, it's not left Arkansas. There's an idea out there that some people think that KJ and Malik would be better than Felipe, which I just don't know how you could tangibly put that argument together. But Harrison Bailey is a former third-ranked recruit out of quarterback. He's highly recruited, but Garantano is apparently still beating him out of practice, or Pruitt doesn't trust Bailey to give him the go and start.
Or it's all the smoke screen. One of the two, and you don't know who. Remember the Georgia game that they everybody was playing games with quarterbacks and who it was going to be, and no one wanted to release that information. But if you were going to make a change, and Garantano was not your guy, wouldn't coming off a bye week be the place to make the change? And probably playing Arkansas would be the place to make a change?
That's what I thought, too.
I mean, if there was a spot in your schedule, if you're Tennessee, this would have to be it, right? I mean, got a bye week. You've just finished playing Bama. You got A&M coming to your place. I mean, if you were going to make a change, you do it with Arkansas before you play A&M and Auburn. Just seems to me. So apparently they're not convinced they need to make a change yet.
I guess not. Maybe if Garantano throws a couple picks against the Razorbacks, no-fly zone secondary, that will change. But until then, it's just kind of a wait and see. But at least from the outset, Jared Garantano is going to be the Vols' starting quarterback. We're going to get more insight on this. Eric Ainge, former Tennessee quarterback, was going to join us on Wednesday, now joining us tomorrow, 7:15. Make sure you stay tuned for that. He's got a really deep knowledge of the quarterback position there in Knoxville.
Hey, do you own apartment complexes, condos, rental properties, multifamily properties? Those are great investments. You can make another great decision by calling our friends at Trinity Multifamily to help you maximize your returns. Trinity Multifamily offers full-service property management, marketing, leasing, sales, all the services you need to make your cash flow. Hey, take the hassles and all the frustrations out of ownership by calling our friends at Trinity Multifamily, 479-452-1817, or look online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily is your teammate in the real estate game.
It is American Football Day, and as I mentioned a little earlier, what are your two favorite games? One you've attended and one you watched on TV. That conversation is coming up on the Morning Rush.
We're trying to outwork everybody in recruiting.
This is Recruiting Thursday on the Morning Rush, brought to you by Breeden RV, where your adventures begin.
Make a hot spring spa part of your day-to-day routine and discover what it means to get more out of your day. Burton Pools and Spas is your local hot spring spa dealer. Hot Spring Spas, the #1 spa brand, helps reduce stress, ease muscle pain, and helps you get a better night's sleep. Invest in yourself and get more out of each day with a new Hot Spring Spa at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
Hi, I'm Bill Bolton of NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins. I started in this business in 1972 at an auction house that specialized in antique and estate jewelry, sterling silver, and coins. In that time, I've seen gold go from $35 an ounce to today's price of $1,683. I want to talk to you about the coins you may have inherited and how important it is to deal with someone who understands coins and this market. In 2011, we had a mother and daughter come into our store and sell us a lot of jewelry they no longer wore for $3,300. The daughter then pulled out an 1850 California $10 gold piece. Jeremy offered her $900 and she accepted his offer. He then advised her to have this coin graded. She did, and she sold it for $36,000. If you don't know what you have, please come see Jeremy in our Bentonville store. Don't sell at an auction or an estate sale and get less money. What's in your safety deposit box could be worth thousands. NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins, Bentonville, Fayetteville.
This is Randy Magnus, mortgage loan manager with Arvest Bank in Fort Smith. Have you checked your mortgage rate lately? A lot of times people forget about their rate after their loan is closed. Your friends at Arvest Bank would love the opportunity to review your current loan. With Arvest competitive rates, you might be able to lower your monthly payment, shorten the term of your loan, or both. Arvest services 99% of the loans that originate, so most of the time you can deal with any of our local branches for all your mortgage needs. Please give us a call at 479-573-1127 or download the Home For Me app to your mobile device and search for a Fort Smith loan officer. Arvest Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
When you want a beer, you go to a bar. When you want top shelf spirits, wines, handcrafted cocktails, and cigars in an atmosphere befitting a destination, you go to 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Try our new menu items, including fish and chips, classic club sandwiches, Caesar and Cobb salads, or stick to your favorites. Dine in or carry out. Enjoy our state-of-the-art air filtration system. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith. Doors open at 4 Tuesday through Saturday.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house?
All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Deer hunters, it's prime time, and the Deerwoods are the place to be. Jelco Outdoors has all the supplies and gear to make your hunt one to remember. Men's, women's, and children's boots and clothing to keep you warm and dry. Tree stands, scents, calls, safety vest, firearms, archery. Jelco has it all for you. Best of luck to all hunters. Stay safe, and remember, a great hunt begins at Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Building a home can be stressful. This is true whether you're the homeowner or the contractor. Many times these issues result in a lawsuit. If you are a homeowner or a contractor and find yourself needing legal help, call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partners. With experience representing homeowners as well as non-payment or other issues that could arise during construction. Contact Brad Hull or Kevin Hickey at 479-434-2414 in the River Valley or 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas. Or check them out on the web at artriallawyers.com.
River City Bistro is Fort Smith's favorite place for lunch and dinner. Open 7 days a week, both on the open-air patio and air-conditioned dining room for your safety and comfort. River City Bistro is locally owned and open weekdays 11 to 8, Saturdays 10 to 8, and Sundays 10 till 3. Want River City Bistro curbside to go? Just search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro or go to rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
Breen RV in Van Buren is having their last sale of the year. Despite COVID-19's best effort, we are still getting in new trailers in weekly, and they are marked down as soon as they hit the lot. Browse Breen RV's selection of Forest River, Dutchman, Thor, and Coachman products and pick out the best fit for you. You can buy with ease knowing that your new purchase comes with free maintenance for life. Once you're ready to hibernate for the winter, bring your camper into us for deluxe winterization specials starting at just $99. Breen RV will work on all makes and models, and don't forget that all their accessories are installed for free. The Breen RV Center in Van Buren, your friends in the RV business.
In sports, success is measured in the number of points scored, in games won, and in championships earned. At Shelter Insurance, we measure success in the quality of our products and services, in our community support, and being there when you need us. In fact, 9 out of 10 people surveyed with a claim would recommend Shelter to a friend. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Ask Shelter agents Randy Milam or Brad Howe about a free insurance review.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Running. Manning, touchdown, Arkansas. Mercy. I'll tell you one thing, he didn't catch that ball 2 inches off the ground.
Follow the show on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine.
It is American Football Day here all day today, and there has been some fantastic football games in my lifetime and everyone's listening lifetime. So what's your favorite? If you had to pinpoint 2, game you're at and game you're watching on TV. These don't have to necessarily be Arkansas games, any game. Professional, college, high school, doesn't matter. 877-377-6963. It is also a recruiting Thursday. Breen RV in Van Buren is having their last sale of the year right now. Despite everything going on, they're getting in new trailers weekly. You can top their best selection, Forest River, Dutchman, Thor, Coachman, and so many more. Ransom and his crew, they give you free maintenance for life with every new purchase. Let's say you need to hibernate your trailer or RV for the winter. They can do that as well. Winterization special starting at just $99. The Breen RV Center in Van Buren, your friends in the RV business. By the way, Keith just sent me a delicious-looking chicken fried steak as I had one with my father last night, and it was chicken fried steak day. Was that last week?
Yeah,
was that earlier
so.
this week? So I am always appreciative if
Did you have white gravy or brown gravy on it?
White on both. So, and it was drizzled on everything.
That's about what was said last week.
But if you ever want to send us at the radio station a picture of your chicken fried steak, you're also welcome to do that.
Yeah, you can text those to our normal number. We get pictures on the text line, too. So,
feel
877-377-6963. We got this big, I don't know, what is that, a 55, 60-inch monitor? I don't know what size that television is there where we see all these, but we can see it in glorious high definition.
And any food. It doesn't have to be chicken fried steak.
Yeah.
If you got a good rack of ribs, you think it's better than mine or Tommy's?
Yeah.
We'll judge them.
Got a good rack, send them to us.
Yeah. All right, so as far as football games go, I would say the best football game I've ever watched on television is great for a couple reasons. One, watch the Sooners loss, and two, it was one of the biggest underdogs. Boise State, Oklahoma 2007 Fiesta Bowl. Here's how that game concluded.
Boise State for the win. They hand it off to Johnson. Boise State has won the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. Can you believe it?
Man, oh man.
The old Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, so that would have been Jared Zabransky doing the Statue of Liberty. Ian Johnson, he takes it in. Zabransky had himself a pretty good day. Did throw a pick-six lake, but they also did the hook and ladder play on a 4th and 18, helped beat those Oklahoma Sooners. I met Jamie at Randall Ford last week. He's a big-time Sooners fan. Jamie, I'm assuming you probably remember that game, buddy, and how it concluded. But that, to this day, is probably the best college football game I've ever watched on television. That's a non-Arkansas one. As far as the Arkansas one goes, Arkansas LSU 2010 sent you to the Sugar Bowl.
And they're going for it again. This time I think it's got to be for real. Mallett looking, goes up top, got man coverage. Adams on the button. Touchdown, Razorbacks.
Joe Adams deking and getting by. Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger, who wasn't really the Honey Badger at that point because it was in 2010. He emerged in 2011, but that was a glorious
I was there
game
for that
to be
one.
at.
Yeah, I was in attendance for that game. So that was a good one to be at. Razorback games I've been in attendance for. Arkansas, South Carolina, that 321 yards. That'd be one that from DMAC. That'd be one you'd have to put up at the top of your list. I was not at it, so this would be on the TV list. The 99 Arkansas-Tennessee game comes to mind because of this week and just the redemption and what that meant to kind of heal the state from what had happened the year prior in 98. One that's not on the Arkansas list, and I had to look up to get the exact date and all that right, but I remember watching this with my dad as a kid. I was a teenager. 1993. I bet neither one of you guys remember this. You may have heard the story of the Buffalo Bills and the Houston Oilers. 93 wild card game when Houston was ahead 28-3 behind 4 touchdown passes from Warren Moon before a great comeback that was a game that ended 41-38 in overtime with the Bills winning over the Oilers. I remember watching that game. My dad was with a group of other guys watching it, and my dad had gotten up to turn the light out so the glare on the TV wasn't as bad. About the time it was 28-3, and there were some guys in the room that had a bet on the game.
Oh, no.
And about the time my dad turned the light out was when the comeback began. And, of course, from that moment on, it was Dad's fault with all the other guys that the comeback would be, because everything was fine until we turned the light out,
Was that the game with the fake punt?
I don't remember.
I know there was a Tottenham and Oilers game. It was the one – it almost looked like a forward.
No. You're thinking about you think about the one with all the laterals?
It was like
the Music City Miracle.
Maybe that's what I'm
You're
thinking
thinking of the Music City Miracle. This goes way back. This is the old school.
Okay.
No, this is 1993. I
couldn't remember if that was 93 or
On
not.
their way to a third consecutive Super Bowl loss that year.
I don't know, but
I believe that's correct.
It was like the largest comeback ever in a playoff game. They had been down 28-3 in that ball game. I had to look it up because I didn't remember all the
Tom Murphy
details, but I remember watching that game.
Just another glorious record that Tom Murphy and his Atlanta Falcons tied in that Super Bowl, being up 28-3 and then somehow blowing it to the New England Patriots. So that's good. We got a bunch of good text in here as far as this conversation. Again, it is American Football Day. What is the best game that you've been in attendance for, and what is the best game that you've seen on television? Don't have to be Razorback. You don't have to necessarily resonate with that, but they can be, and a lot of them will be for you. For Austin and Ozark, this is kind of an interesting one. His favorite in-person game was Houston's Nuts return to Fayetteville as the Ole Miss head coach. And he also enjoyed the Alabama-Clemson national championship game. I'm assuming it's the one where Deshaun Watson found Hunter Renfrow on the rollout and that Clemson pulled out that game with, I think, like 3 seconds left.
So Houston Nutt brings Ole Miss back in. I don't know what were y'all at that game? You remember anything about that game?
Not a clue.
The thing I remember is he held his team in that south tunnel and would not run out on the field until Arkansas came running through the A because he didn't want to hear the boos. So, I mean, and then you had like this mix of cheers. You didn't know whether to cheer or to boo. You didn't know what to do. Well, you were conflicted. Do I boo Houston Nutt or do I cheer for my team? And it was a smattering of both. But it was an interesting moment because normally the visiting team runs out first and just crosses the field, and then here comes the home team. And you could see them visibly waiting. And it was like a standoff. And then finally, they both come out at the same time.
Cody from Bentonville texts in. He says his favorite game's probably a tie. Bama at home, 2006. Mitch Mustang finds Ben Cleveland. The Henry Heave in Oxford. I was there for that. That was incredible.
I was on the field. It was very late in the game, obviously, and that was when we could go down on the field at the last few moments, and he threaded the needle to get that in there. Then Lee Tiffin missed those kicks in the game. That was the Lee Tiffin game. Yeah, that was the last time you beat Bama.
And he would also say his television favorite was the one where you beat Ole Miss in 7 overtimes in 2001 against Eli Manning.
See, my one of my television favorites would be from that 06 year as well when you beat Auburn, on the road early that
Number 2 in the country that year. And
that was one of my TV favorites.
Yeah, that was a fun game. Andy Mountain Home texts in. He says his favorite non-Arkansas game was the Auburn pick 6 game. I'm assuming he meant to type in kick 6. He says pick 6, but the kick 6. Yeah, I was
autocorrect got him.
Autocorrect got him. So my stepmom grew up in Huntsville, big Alabama fan, and she felt like she had a nightmare that night. It was, and I'm watching that with my brother, and we very, very loudly cheer against Alabama, and that was a fun night in our household.
That's still one where no matter what an Alabama fan says or how arrogant or gloating they can be, you can just say the words kick 6, and that it's like PTSD. They just can't handle it.
Hayden in Bentonville texting. He says the Henry Heave was pretty incredible. Yeah, we've mentioned that. It's definitely one. RB in Bentonville says the best non-Razorback game, in my opinion. This is one I almost said, RB, but 2005 National Championship, Keith Jackson's last game, Vince Young in Texas, Matt Leinart, Reggie Bush, and USC, and the way that game concluded.
When we talk about great games, I mean, people bring up Miracle and Markham or things like those were great finishes. The Henry Heave, great finish, and it was a decent game. The Texas-USC game was a great game, start to finish. Great football game. Like Miracle and Markham, it wasn't a great football game. It was a great finish to a football game. Great way for it to end. So there is a difference in a great finish and a great game. That game with Vince Young was a great game.
Yeah, it was a really fun game to watch. And they went forward on either 4th and 1 or 4th and 2. They tried to bang it in there with Lindale White, and the Tennessee defense stood strong and was able to do that. Adam in Panama City, Florida, texting about the Andre Rison game. I don't know what that is.
I don't.
Do you know what that is? Nope. Okay. All right, we can move on from that. Zach at Paragould text in. He says 2015 LSU at Arkansas. I remember a select few of Razorback fans that made the trip down to Baton Rouge and how fun it was for them sitting in Tiger Stadium as the LSU fans exited the building.
Yeah, and what was it, 2013, I'm going to get my years right here. Yeah, 2013, Bielema's first year. Should have won down there then. Remember, you had a corner or safety fall down. You had him beat then. And
Zach Medberger got injured.
Almighty.
Anthony Jennings came in as a true freshman and threw a go route on a quarterback that fell down or busted coverage.
Dead to rights. Had him.
He blew it. So
it felt good to go to get him when you should have got him.
Yeah. Sheldon Westford texts in. He says the best game he's ever attended was the Chiefs versus the Saints, and his favorite game that he watched on TV was Arkansas versus TCU in 2016, which he watched on his wedding day. Now, Sheldon, I was down there for that. As cocky and arrogant, as prissy as those TCU fans are, it was so fun.
For not a lot of good reasons.
Flashing that SEC flag just everywhere, running up and down. Amon G. Carter Stadium. It was awesome. And that is easily the most underrated weekend of 2016 and probably the best one of the best memories I retained from that year.
You think about that Texas Tech and that TCU series. Road games worked out okay. The return trips,
not so much.
Not so much.
Yeah. The Henry Heave was a really good game because Brandon Allen, Chad Kellen were battling. That was what Mark and Jonesboro said. So a lot of good ones. What's yours, real quick? We're closing down shop
easy
here.
one for me. Best game live was the 2010 A&M game down at Jerry World with the comeback.
Okay.
Easily that one. Best game I've watched, what you brought up, the USC Texas game. And I was 13 years old and just in awe of just the gravitas and everything that was going on with that game.
I'm glad you all got to experience Keith Jackson. I mean, you didn't
scores.
You didn't probably get to experience enough Vin Scully in your day. Keith Jackson on that same level, with the gravitas and the presence behind the mic of Vin Scully, Keith Jackson, two of the best ever.
Text out of the 501 as we close it down here. Arkansas beating Southern Cal in 1974. Yeah, Pat Hayden was the athletic director who was on that team. So that was a good one. All right, Clay Henry, publisher of Hogs Illustrated, joins us tomorrow, 7 o'clock.
The Powerball jackpot from the Arkansas Scholarship